One of those guys that, has got handle, but, played two. Answered, yeah.
You got Texas A&M and Bucky ball coming off a game where you had 13 steals and 18 turnovers.
That's scary.
Yeah. All right. One more segment to go on the show today, being brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. That includes our friends at Inverness Country Club, LT. Before you tell us about Inverness, let me tell everybody this hour of the show brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew. The chicken is brined overnight. It is cooked to order, hand-cut chicken fingers as well. The in-house made sides, the in-house made desserts, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, and everything else you get. Great bar and happy hour every day. It's all at Champy's Chicken and Inverness Country Club.
Yeah, we talk about they've got memberships that fit everyone. We were having lunch with friends. They were going to the Masquerade Ball on Saturday night at the Inverness Country Club. Again, great social scene. The golf is fantastic. Newly renovated clubhouse and dining, fitness center, and soon to be that resort-style pool coming this summer once the weather heats up. Childcare is also a big plus. You and your wife on a day of golf or tennis, guess what? You can drop the kid and go have yourself a day on the court or course. Best days happen at Inverness. To take a tour of the unbelievable club, call Erin. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
As always, this hour of the show presented by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com. Sterling and the crew have thrown the door open there at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, and they are ready for you. Those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, great chicken fingers, the sides. Tyler always talks about that sausage cheese tray, which is fantastic. Megan slinging the drinks behind the bar. You can go enjoy that as well. Open for lunch for you, 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com. champyschicken.com. Also, we take a look at the Super Bowl with this question of Mike Vrabel, presented by Michelson Laser Vision. They can be your look into the future. Lance was basically legally blind. Not only could he not talk, he couldn't see.
Yeah, didn't realize it. Had the contacts I wore for like a decade. When I got the procedure done back in 2003, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. $0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
All right, so the media day, I think they call it Super Bowl kickoff now, but it's basically the media day, and they do it at night. And this is everything from reporters actually trying to get actual stories and do their job to people trying to get attention to people just asking funny, goofy, off-the-wall questions. This was one given to Mike Vrabel last night. The presentation, I will give Scott credit. The presentation sounds serious, sounds like a real legitimate question. I think it's part of a bit, but I could be wrong. You guys get to judge. Here is the question presented on, I'll point out again, Super Bowl Media Day. Super Bowl, biggest game of the year, end of the year, last game of the year, biggest game of the year. Here's the question of Mike Vrabel.
Is this a must-win game?
A must-win? Yeah, I think every time we go out, it is a must-win game. I mean, it's kind of the attitude that I've always taken in the National Football League.
I mean, to ask if the Super Bowl is a must-win game.
I actually think he's going to get fired if, year one.
That's right.
What is must-win?
I mean, you're in a Super Bowl. It's a must-win game. I mean, you don't get many joy. You're the Patriots.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway. Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, live show now on a Wednesday. We'll get to Texas A&M, Alabama basketball in Tuscaloosa and make an early Kalshi play on that coming up in the first segment. More on that in a moment. We'll hear from Nate and Bucky, and I expect Bucky to have a pretty good crowd in Tuscaloosa tonight. But we started a little college football before we get to the Super Bowl and all that on the show. Our buddy Brandon Marcello, CBSSports.com, friend of the show, has put out his power ratings, his way too early power ratings for SEC football. Now, without looking at that, I want you guys to sort of work through the process of where you think Alabama, eventually Auburn, but where you think Alabama is in the power rankings. So let's workshop it. Let's shout it out here. I'm going to pull out my little sticky notes here. You're going to do dry erase board.
I'm just going to keep up with what I say.
Yeah. We know Texas is going to be in front.
Texas we'll put Alabama, we'll call it the Alabama line. Okay.
Who's above the Alabama line?
Yeah, in no particular order, Texas is going to be above it, right?
This is his power ranking 2026, not like
for the upcoming season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Texas, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's definitely going to be in front. I think Ole Miss, based on Trinidad Chambliss, is going to be in front of Alabama going into a season.
A&M will as well.
Okay, Ole Miss was getting close to the Alabama line for me.
Oh, yeah. I would agree. It's really close.
What's those two circles that intersect?
The Venn diagram.
The Venn diagram?
Uh-huh.
Alabama in the Venn diagram is the overlapping part. To me, Ole Miss falls into that circle. You say A&M?
I got Texas, Georgia, Ole Miss, A&M, LSU. I think that's who Brandon will have in front of them. That's the only ones I'm willing to.
Yeah, I do think that Oklahoma and Tennessee are going to be in the Alabama realm.
But I don't think they'll be in front of Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with all those.
You got LSU above?
Yeah.
Above Bama. I've got 5 teams above Brandon Marcello's Alabama line: Texas, Georgia, Ole Miss, A&M, and LSU.
I think you're dead on. I think those are the 5 teams that will be in front. And then in any, not so certain order, I think it is Tennessee, Alabama, Oklahoma. I am going to say that Alabama is the next team, though.
Okay, is that fair? Do you think the way you've laid it out there? I mean, because the way you're projecting it there, that is not a college football playoff scenario.
It is not, and I think the majority of people will not have Alabama in the college football playoff. And when you were out yesterday, we were talking about quarterback. How confident are you in the Alabama quarterback situation, whether it's Keelan Russell or it's Austin Mack? And as we discuss this, quarterback, when you go on position group by position group, it's way down there on concern meter, I think, for Alabama fans. So I think there's a lot of other things Alabama fans are worried about.
Yeah, I would say my issue with what I think Brandon would have said here is Ole Miss. I'm going to want to see Pete Golding do it for a full season. I'm going to want to see Trinidad Chambliss do it for a second season. Like, I am not just buying that Trinidad Chambliss magic spills over into another season and Pete Golding is absolutely the coach we saw in the postseason. Maybe he is, but I'm going to need to see it.
Yeah, and I'll say this. The only teams that I feel like, LSU's done some damage in the portal. The only teams that I feel 100% certain will be better than Alabama are Texas and Georgia.
I'm with Lance on that, yeah.
Okay, so, but for our work here, we said Texas, Georgia, A&M, LSU, Ole Miss, no particular order.
That is correct.
And then Alabama slid into that 6th slot. Okay. See, I'm with you guys on Texas, not looking at him, just my own opinion.
Right.
Texas will be ahead of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to put Georgia there. And then after that, I'm not. LSU looks good on paper, absolutely. But I don't know if LSU should be ahead of Alabama.
Do you think they got a good coach?
I think they have a good coach.
Okay. No, I don't disagree with you on that.
I think you guys have backed down a little bit from Lane Kiffin.
We have.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
he's
a good
He's a good coach, no doubt.
He's a good coach.
But they were 7-6. Really, they were.
Let me ask you this,
they were very different teams last year. Alabama was much better than LSU last year.
Can I ask you a real quick Lane Kiffin question? Not to hijack this.
Maybe exactly what I was going to say. Go ahead.
If you had watched him coach the playoffs the way you watched Pete Golding coach the playoffs, do you think you'd feel differently about Lane Kiffin?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
I think so too. Yeah, I think everyone would have. I'm not picking on you. I think we all would have thought differently of him.
We haven't seen him in big game situations.
Like assuming he beats Tulane, assuming he beats Georgia. I mean, that would have been a huge win for Lane Kiffin. Maybe he beats Miami. I don't know that Pete necessarily did anything wrong in that game, but I just think you would feel different having seen him coach there.
Lane Kiffin's had 4 head coaching jobs, right?
Well, I mean, USC, Tennessee,
take the Raiders
Florida
out.
Atlantic,
and LSU and Ole Miss. I mean, he's had 5.
Take LSU out. Hasn't coached there.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and we'll throw the Raiders in here too. To me, there is a different expectation level and pressure at Florida Atlantic and Ole Miss than there is at
100%.
Tennessee, USC, and the NFL Raiders and LSU. Which is more LSU? Ole Miss and Florida Atlantic, or Tennessee, USC, the NFL Raiders?
I would say, and I'll include the Raiders in this.
It's
This is
left hand
the
right here,
most this is the most pressure-packed
job he's ever had.
It's the most pressure-packed job he's ever had.
you can go 8-9 with the Raiders and decent season.
You go 6-6 this first year with LSU, and they'll be already burning him in effigy.
They were 7-6, and one of the best active coaches got fired middle of the season.
He wasn't around long enough at Tennessee to feel the full Tennessee pressure, which is less than LSU in my opinion. It's less than Alabama's pressure.
I agree.
USC, there was a lot of pressure on him because he was trying to be the next Pete Carroll, but it was nothing compared to what it's going to be at LSU.
Yeah, LSU football is a different animal than most places. Yeah,
their NFL is just a different beast when it comes to the fan base. Florida Atlantic, Ole Miss, come on, that's like vacation. You had a lot of what's the old saying? A lot of runway there to work with, now, especially when you got to Ole Miss.
Watching the old school Raiders games, I think I'm more fearful of their fan base. Like if it goes wrong, somebody might kill me, than I would be of the LSU fan base. That was a rough-looking fan base in Oakland.
Would agree. Remember the black hole they talked about? People would get their eyeballs stomped out. I will say, though, this season he will get a somewhat of a pass, although they're paying just a little bit. I'm just talking about like they need to win 8, 9, possibly 10 games. Ooh. The coaches on the hottest of hot seats in the SEC are Sarkisian and DeBoer. It's not even close.
No, I agree 100% with you on that, but I think if he doesn't make the playoffs this year, he's going to hear it from his fan base.
Well, it's going to be like DeBoer, right?
He's in the same situation Kalen DeBoer was, minus he's not following Nick Saban. But the same expectation is going to be there for Lane Kiffin that was with Kalen DeBoer when he got there. The difference is Alabama was coming off a playoff run with a lot of returning spots, and people thought Kalen DeBoer could plug and play. At LSU, they have gone and paid people's hard-earned money. They've paid that money and paid to get a coach that they expect to be in the playoffs next year. And so the expectations will be there. Brandon Marcello's Power Rankings, way too early, CBSSports.com, after LT tells us about our friends at Hoover Toyota.
Hey, look, if you're in the car buying market, please check out our friends at Hoover Toyota. Really, we have gotten to know these people so well. Kim, Harold, Scott, the great staff out there. They sell, obviously, the new Toyotas, used cars, in Birmingham, Alabaster, Vestavia, new used car financing, auto service, genuine Toyota parts. They've been perfecting the art of customer service for over 20 years now with their philosophy to give information to the customers. Their inventory offers a fantastic selection, and their on-site finance department, headed by our girl Kim, provides affordable financing options. Even after the keys to your new vehicle are in hand, they're there to serve you with service and parts department committed to keeping your vehicle running smoothly. When you shop with them, they want to make sure you're a customer for life. That's why Hoover Toyota offers the Red Carpet program and give you ways to let your friends and family experience an amazing shopping experience with a referral program. When I bought Leighton's new car, I told her, hey, look, this is the last car I'm ever buying you. You're at that point a junior in college. The next one you get will be on your own. So I wanted reliable, safe, one that would hold value, one that she could have for years and years and years. She absolutely loves it. I went in. I'm a customer myself. I bought Land Cruiser back in October. Absolutely love it. To view their inventory and great pricing, you can stop by their location right there on Highway 150, yes, right past the Galleria. Or you can go online, and when you're in there, make sure you tell them the next round sent you. Go to hoovertoyota.com, view that inventory and great pricing. It's hoovertoyota.com.
Okay, Brandon Marcello's Power Ranking, CBSSports.com. Texas is number 1. No surprise there, right?
Nope. Not
number
at all.
2 is Georgia.
No
surprise there. And then anything after this was precarious for us. Number 3, Texas A&M. Now, initially I would say KC Concepcion is going to be a first-round draft pick, in my opinion.
Yep, he's
so you
top
just,
20 guy right now.
You just can't automatically replace a guy like that, but they've got Marcel Reed back. I think what's the Craver kid?
Mario Craver.
Is still back, a wide receiver. So still a good team.
You know what they don't have? Their schedule from last year. There's one thing to look at. Like, Arizona State out of conference, I don't think that's a big deal, but they've got to go to LSU. They got to go to Missouri. They got to go to Bama. At South Carolina, which is always a tricky game.
Well,
Tennessee,
it's a game they almost lost this year.
Tennessee and Texas at home, and they got to go to Oklahoma. This schedule is night and day from what they had last year.
Great point. Number 4 on Brandon Marcello's power ranking, very different from ours, is, can I get the song right? Dun, 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 dun. Is that Boomer Sooner?
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, Boomer
dun,
Sooner.
dun,
He's got
dun,
Oklahoma 4.
I said Oklahoma could be in front of them. They're going to be right there in that Alabama range. I mean, if Mateer would have played better last year, I think we'd all be like, damn, their defense was lights out. Now, if Mateer would have played better.
He did get into the playoffs.
He did, but I don't know if it was Mateer. I think it was more that defense. But I said this 2 years ago, the offense couldn't be any worse. The offense was better last year. If it gets a little bit better, then Oklahoma should be a handful.
We expect the defense to still be good.
Yes.
Defense should still be good, but I just think the way the season ended, there are question marks about both Arbuckle and Mateer. And I think those are reasonable question marks. I mean, again, I'll need to see a little more proof that Arbuckle is an SEC-level offensive coordinator and Mateer is an SEC-level quarterback. I don't think you saw that at the end of the year.
No, in fact, he pressed right before the half in the comeback for Alabama. Instead of taking a profit to the locker room, he threw a pick 6 that had us knotted at 17.
That's right. Let Alabama right back in it before the half, yeah.
I've got, at least on paper, I think Oklahoma could be dogs in 5 or 6 games this year.
Wow.
I mean, they're going to be dogs at Michigan. I know it's year 1.
For Whittingham?
Yeah, for Kyle Whittingham.
At a conference game, I don't know how important those are anymore, but
they're definitely going to be dogs when they go to Athens, take on Georgia. I think, Red River Shootout, they're going to be a dog to Texas. And then you take a look at some of the road games at Florida, at Missouri, and they've got Ole Miss and A&M at home. I mean, they could be a dog in one of those games. So they're going to be a dog in a handful of games.
LSU is number 5. Now, LSU will be the toughest thing to project all year long because you can bring in an all-star team, and it doesn't mean it instantly clicks, right? In this portal era, you can go and bring in all these great players, the Sam Levitts of the world, the Jordan Seaton, and all of that, but you don't know if it's going to work.
Yeah. No, I mean,
on paper, it looks really, really good.
You're 100% right, and it's why the expectations are what they are, because everybody's looked at this and said, well, nobody cleaned out the portal the way LSU cleaned out the portal. And with that kind of haul, with the talent you've already got, the way LSU recruits, how could you not be in the playoffs?
Well, in their schedule, it's 3 different seasons. Like, it's really tough on the front end, the first 4 games. Middle 4 look very doable, and then the last 4 tricky because you've got Clemson at Ole Miss and A&M in the first 4 games. Then you've got McNeese, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Auburn. But then you got Alabama, Texas, at Tennessee, at Arkansas.
That's their finish?
Yeah.
Well, that's a heck of a finish right there.
It is.
Yeah.
Alabama at Texas, at Tennessee, host Arkansas?
Alabama, Texas, both at home, and then at Tennessee and at Arkansas.
So that's a tough finish.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this. LSU fans think that they've hired a coach that doesn't have a national championship only because he's been limited by where he was coaching.
That is right.
Alabama
Alabama
in the semifinals.
Well, I know,
Yeah,
but that was in a new world of football.
Alabama's 6th on his rankings, ahead of Ole Miss, who is 7th.
Interesting. I'm interested that he had Oklahoma in front of both Alabama and Ole Miss.
And I'm wondering if he's got Ole Miss not getting Chambliss back. I mean, that is obviously a big deal.
With the uncertainty surrounding quarterback Trinidad Chambliss' eligibility case and revamped offensive staff, it's okay to exercise some caution with the Rebels.
Well, and I know this is a bigger topic, so I'll just touch on it. Joey Aguilar got his TRO today, so he's going to get an injunction hearing Friday. The way the NCAA is on the wrong side of these TROs, you've got to think Trinidad Chambliss is next.
You would
right?
think.
Trinidad Chambliss is a lock to play next year.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the way this is going with the courts and the NCAA, I think Trinidad Chambliss, I'll be stunned if he doesn't play.
Oh, his case is a lot more digestible than a lot of these.
Yeah.
Missouri 8, South Carolina 9, Florida 10, Tennessee 11.
Well, now again, I'm assuming Brandon did this pre-Aguilar, and I don't know how much Aguilar factors into it for you guys. Like,
if Joey Aguilar wins his case against the NCAA for an additional year of eligibility, which I think he says probably, even so, I'm more curious about the Vols hiring former Penn State and Ohio State defense coordinator Jim Knowles. He's a mastermind and one of the best in the game, but he typically needs 2 to 3 years to implement his system and players before hitting a stride. That's why he's got him 11th.
Well, look, I mean, Knowles pretty much immediately at Oklahoma State and Ohio State. Different situations. They weren't great at Penn State, obviously, last year. I don't know where I fall on this team. I think it's better if Aguilar comes back. Clay Travis was on yesterday. He wants to see younger guys like George McIntyre play.
Yeah, we asked Clay point blank. He's like, I'd rather just move on and see what you got.
I would rather have Aguilar in year 2 in Heupel's system. With that experience and with Knowles coming in, I think Tennessee could be a sleeper team.
Auburn 12 ahead of Will Stein's Kentucky 13, who's made a lot of good moves in the offseason to revamp Kentucky's roster. Vandy 14th. Even with a 5-star quarterback in Jared Curtis. Arkansas 15, Mississippi State 16. Though it feels like Mississippi State's improving, still put in the 16 slot. Vandy, who's got a good roster, slotted at 14. Kentucky feels good. Auburn feels good. Tennessee 11. Florida feels good. Tough league, boys.
Well,
Tough league.
You're going to feel kind of dirty putting some of these teams at the bottom, but you have to. I mean, Mississippi State, if Lebby in year 3 is at the bottom of that league.
Poor Jeff Lebby.
Yeah, I mean, he could end up getting fired, which is crazy.
I really don't think Lebby's done a bad job.
No, not at all.
I don't think he's done a bad job. But, I mean, if you tell me they finished the year 16, I'm like, I can see it. Poor Jeff Lebby, man.
And Vanderbilt, we said this last year, they absolutely have to go backwards now.
Yeah,
they have to.
They have to. Right? Can't keep winning games
Impossible.
at Vandy. It would be changing the tides, basically, literally, in some cases. 205 days away from the start of college football, the week 0. Brandon Marcello, good read on why he ranks all those teams there at cbssports.com. Go and check that out. To our games on the court, on the hardwood tonight, brought to you by our friends at Kalshi. In fact, you can jump on and make a move on Alabama, Texas A&M tonight.
So, Brown, you and I, we're starting to get more involved and more comfortable with Kalshi. But here is how to trade using Kalshi now that it's legally available in all 50 states. Now, it started really 2024 presidential election.
That is right. In fact, a lot of times their odds were the odds that the media was referencing.
I remember because I didn't know. And
I didn't know what Kalshi was.
Yeah, we talked about it. We didn't know what Kalshi was. Projection market, where you can legally you can place your projection and your position on anything from pop culture to politics to obviously our strong suit, which is sports.
Back in the election year, they were really good in the Senate races.
That's
that
right.
year. I mean, just not the high-profile presidential race, but the Senate races and everything, they were spot on.
Yeah, they were giving you public opinion much better than the public opinion polls were, which is what's crazy. Alabama, Texas A&M tonight in Tuscaloosa. The Crimson Tide, about a 7.5-point favorite, depending on where you look at that.
Yeah, right now 7.5 and 178.5. Very high total.
Yeah, it is a big total right there.
I play Alabama at Kalshi right here.
I would too. This would be a tough loss for NATO. To be an incredible win for Bucky. We say that, it seems like every time they're out.
Not only do I like Alabama on the Kalshi to win the game, as it looks like most of the population does, I think they win it pretty easily tonight.
Well, I think there's a couple of factors. I know we'll get into the game, and I'll give you what I think is going to be the key for Alabama, but I'm right there. I would take a position on Alabama right here at Kalshi.
I love this, and I would love to own the sneakers that are up on the logo there.
You can buy, it says buy,
yes.
Look, download Kalshi, get the app. You can go to the website right now, kalshi.com, but put that code TNR in, get $10 when you trade $10.
That's right. That's a free $10 right there when you use code TNR at Kalshi. Get that Kalshi app and start playing today with our friends at Kalshi. Code TNR for $10 when you register with code TNR at Kalshi.
Okay, Bucky McMillan used to coach high school basketball here in town at Mountain Brook High School. He played at Birmingham Southern. We heard from Mark Godfrey that he tried to get Bucky his final year of eligibility to come play at Alabama. So Bucky McMillan gets asked yesterday out in College Station before they jumped on a plane to come back to his home state of Alabama what it would be like coming back to his home state.
As a guy from Alabama who's son of 2 Alabama grads, just what's what's it going to be like for you getting to go play in that game and face Alabama?
Just another SEC game. They've been good, and always good to get a chance to go see a lot of people you know, just like when we were at Auburn. Hopefully we have the same results as Auburn. That's what you're after, is just to play well and let it fall where it may. I've seen a lot of games in there. Watch Alabama play a lot, just like most SEC teams. Good team. Didn't play their best game last game. I'm sure they'll come out playing tough and ready to right some of their wrongs in this game. So we'll have to play a good game. We know that.
Love me some Bucky. Known Bucky a long time. We all have. Love Bucky to death. The first part of that answer was pure coach speak. This game means a ton to Bucky.
Oh, it does.
I know you got to say that. It's just another game in the SEC because that's what you're preaching to your team. So you can't tell the media one thing and your team another. This game means a ton.
But if you went into this game blind and I just showed you, like, you wake up from that coma 2 months ago and I'm like, there's a 17-4 overall team, 7-1 in conference, and there's a 14-7, 4-4, you'd be like, damn, Alabama's played up to the level of bringing some of these guys in, and A&M has done a pretty damn good job in year one under Bucky.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If they were 4-4 in the league, I'd be like, it's a good first year for Bucky. Yeah. It's been a great first year. Is it fair to say that now that they are the front runner in the SEC, different than when they won at Auburn, now that they have the target on their back and starting this stretch of games against Alabama, Florida, by the way, that's their next game after this, Florida.
At least they get them at home.
Missouri and at Vandy, that this is the start of the test on whether or not they can contend for the SEC.
Yes.
This is their first test as being the SEC champion as we start to move towards the back half of the schedule. Is that fair?
Yes, I think that is fair. I mean, look, they've got the smallest team, and this is going to be one of my points coming up. They got the smallest team in college basketball. We talked to Bucky about that. I mean, they're doing it with players that their collective, I don't want to say didn't want, just didn't even really, they weren't paying attention to the roster at all.
Yeah, I agree. Tyler, cut one, if you could, buddy. Here's Texas A&M coming in to play Alabama. Nate Oates' first reaction publicly after watching the film of the Florida game, getting ready for another showdown in the SEC tonight, back at home after what, we'll let him describe what Sunday was.
Sunday was disappointing, to say the least. I think most disappointed in just the difference in the effort shown, which is a little embarrassing to be associated with a game where the other team just plays a lot harder than you. So it's been addressed. We got to get changed. I thought practice looked a lot better today. There was some intensity to it. I think some guys are, not wanting to be on the wrong end of a dominating performance like we were Sunday. A&M's good. They're really good. They're 3 games ahead of us in the league with only, 8 games in. Bucky's done an unbelievable job turning it around immediately. Their whole system's based on playing hard, giving max effort. I told our guys it's perfect because if we don't fix what we have to fix, like, we're going to get dominated again at home.
That's not a win or lose comment. If Alabama plays their best, they win the game. If you don't have maximum effort from Alabama in this game, boy, I question this team for the rest of the season.
Well, I was around a bunch of Alabama fans after the show on Monday and then again yesterday, and one guy literally said, "We need to do away with this hard hat conversation, this blue collar conversation."
They don't like that anymore
because this team is not that.
So like one night they and you could have done it Sunday, I think, for Nate to say, we don't give a hard hat.
Yeah, let's go bury it.
I know
we might dig this up one day.
I know one of you probably earned the hard hat, but when our team loses by 30, nobody gets the hard hat.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down 90% of the game, you're down 27. By the way, one of the more incredible stats you will ever see is Florida, 24 assists, only 2 turnovers. Alabama, 16 assists, 18 turnovers in that game. If Alabama, right now, Texas A&M with this full court press, they force over 15 turnovers per game. If Alabama keeps their turnovers in the single digits, they will win the game by double digits.
Yeah, this style of play, though, fits Alabama better than Florida does.
Yeah, and I do think you're going to see Bediako and Sherrell on the floor a lot together because I think the size, if you slow this down a little bit, and I know that's not Alabama style
if you change into that, I think you're playing right into Bucky ball at that point because you know who doesn't handle the ball as well as the guards do, Sherrill and Betty.
Well,
no doubt.
Yeah, the question for that would be, can you break the press with 3 guards? And if you can, and you've got those guys on the floor, that becomes a massive problem.
Taylor Boboin is a guy that can put it on the deck, and only played 2 minutes against Florida. I think
some of that was injury.
I think the minutes will go up if he is 100%. But this is a massive, massive game for Alabama.
Yeah, I, in my belief, Alabama could play Bucky ball as good or better than Bucky ball can play
with their guards.
With his players that he currently has at Texas A&M. If they chose to play that way tonight, interesting contest, fun night in the SEC last night. Texas has won 2 games in a row. They beat South Carolina last night. In those 2 games, you know what Texas did? They won the fouls. They didn't foul more than their opponents.
And maybe they're listening.
They found a cure for the disease.
And Tennessee won their 4th straight. The win streak started against Alabama. Nate Ament, in that 4-game win streak, the great freshman, is averaging 24 points, 6 rebounds. He scored 28 last night, 26 in the second half as Tennessee handed it to Ole Miss. In that game, Chris Beard loses it, gets ejected from the contest over a player playing through contact, no call situation. He said afterwards he was fighting for his players. That's typical basketball at Tennessee against Rick Barnes, is you've got to play through the contact. And, if you're really going to if you're really going to impact the officiating, you probably need to have that fit earlier in the game than that late in the game.
Once the game was already over, which it was,
Yeah, but he gets ejected fighting for his players last night. Fun night in the SEC coming up as well. Ron Slay talks more about that coming up. On the other Slay, we go to the Boom Boom Room.
The Boom Boom Room's out at the Super Bowl, too. It's a Super Bowl Boom Boom Room.
I saw Radio Row yesterday, a picture of it, a little video somebody sent me. My God, how many people go out to that?
A lot of people do.
2 more, and I want to be around.
We'll talk more about that. Got to get to Slay on the other side. Show being brought to you by a couple of great folks. One of them is our friends at Inverness Country Club. LT, tell us about Inverness.
Yeah, the Inverness Country Club, they've got memberships that fit everyone. Childcare also such a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis, go have yourself, you can drop the kid right there on site. Go have yourself a day on the court or course, knowing your kid is safe right there. Newly renovated clubhouse and dining, great fitness center. Again, they've got something for everyone in the family to take a tour of this unbelievable club. Go to ICCalabama.com. That is ICCalabama.com.
Hey, February is American Heart Month, and it's also Valentine's Day. And you're laughing this way. I said February?
Yeah, all of a sudden it's
February.
Rakishi. It's February now.
Okay. February is National Heart Month, and it is also the month of Valentine's Day, the month of love. Our friends there at Bojangles have got those heart-shaped Bo-Berry biscuits. It's not only a great way to start your day, any day with a Bo-Berry biscuit's a better day, but it also goes to a great cause. The campaign will donate 10% of heart-shaped Bo-Berry biscuit sales to the Hardest Yard, Greg Olson Foundation, and the Bojangles Foundation that will support heart care services and research in the communities Bojangles serves. This is now through February 22nd. So in the morning, swing by, get those heart-shaped Bo-Berry biscuits, and make it bow time.
From driveways to interstates, accidents happen fast. The insurance company's response? Here's our offer. Take it or leave it. Leave it. Call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Over 250,000 clients. And no, they don't accept lowball offers. They fight, they win. Over $2 billion recovered. Call now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Physical office location, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger, made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Big game right around the corner, and you're looking to entertain, and you've got to have the great food. You can do it from our friends at the New York Butcher Shop. A couple of great options. The smoked chicken wings, $11.99 a pound, available Saturdays afternoon. Quantities are limited, so reservations by Thursday suggested. Also, the Super Bowl Boston butt sale, $39.99, reservations only, completely smoked from Jim and that great staff of butchers at the New York Butcher Shop. Two great locations for you, the original Cava Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service, the New York Butcher Shop.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time. It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time. It's bow time.
Alabama's got a new offensive line coach. It's official. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit later when we get back into college football. But as we bring on our man Ron Slay from the Boom Boom Room on the road, new bracketology is out. 0 SEC teams on the 1 line, on the 2 line, and on the 3 line. You got to go to the 4th seed before you find Vandy in Florida. Tennessee's a 5.
The Boom Boom Room, I believe, is Super Bowl edition. West Coast Boom Boom Room. Am I right about that, Ron Slay?
Yeah, this is we out here and out and about, man, trying to get some things accomplished. Out here, I will say, man, San Francisco, they got us in a hotel. We had to scramble to find one because we waited so long to get a hotel. This ain't the Four Seasons that we staying at, I'll tell you that.
Hey, Slay, what do you think about West Coast time? I'm not a big Pacific Coast time. I know some people like Dunaway here likes it. I'm not a fan at all.
Man, I lived in L.A. for about 10 years before retiring, and I used to love it only for the simple fact when the NBA Finals used to come on, it would happen about 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock that day. And when it's over, you still had the rest of your day to go on with it. That was the only good thing. Other than that, I'm cool on it. But that's why they operate like they're their own world out here on Pacific time, because they kind of are. They're separated actually from the world. Like nobody operates Jim on Pacific time, man.
Yeah, see, I like it when I'm on vacation. I wouldn't want to live in that situation, but I like when I go to Las Vegas that I can watch the games, and then I got my whole night still left. But the late night college basketball games, I watch it, and I can still lose my money on the craps table the rest of the night and still get into bed by 2 in the morning.
I mean, yeah, I wish I was operating at 2 in the morning. Mine was more like 5 or 6 in the morning, Jim. So.
Yeah. But you were in Vegas. That's what I was telling him. You were in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I just left Vegas. We just left Vegas last night, and we left at the right time, man, because I was able to fight back. I only left 600 down.
my wife, I've got buddies that win every time we go to Vegas, and my wife now when I go tells me, she calls it my allowance. Take your allowance and just give it to my buddy Mike Kennedy and let him gamble for you, and you watch him gamble with your money. I said, it's not as much fun. Not as much fun.
No, that's it. Either do that or pack you some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So you ain't have much food for lunch after.
Oh, I lose enough. I get fed for free, man. Everything's on the house. I lose so much. Yeah.
Hey, when Dunaway brought you in, he was talking about no SEC on 1, 2, or 3 lines when you look at bracketology. When you watch Florida, though, and I know, look, Sunday was one thing. That was a statement game against Bama. But just watching Florida the last 2.5, 3 weeks, they seem like a team that can make a lot of noise in March.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations that you're punished by what happened in the non-conference. I think when you look at the SEC, because right now I honestly feel, man, there's 3 or 4 teams that can make a real run and get some things going. But that's how it's paved out. You know, you didn't have the retention like you had last year. You didn't have the seniority running these squads like you had last year. And you also don't have some of the coaches that you had that garnered some of that that equity built up to say, you know what, they're gonna be all right. Just give them time. You know, so it's that's the story. That's the Cinderella story that we always wanted anyway. That's the SEC anyway. We give us all our teams. We take 10, 11 teams, whatever it is, and people ain't got to respect it. But as long as we're right there in the end fighting for an Elite 8 or a Final 4, I think it's all fine and well. And guess what? A lot of these freshmen that they got are, you know what I mean, tabbed as the guys. This is the best freshman class to ever come along in NCAA history, according to some. So, I mean, if that's the case, then they got to rank them that high. So I think that's why they're getting a lot of notoriety outside of the SEC. And we'll see how it all shakes out because our freshmen doing pretty well. I would say Darius Acuff and Nate Ament to be garnered as some of the best in the country as well.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Ron Slee is with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Alabama faces Texas A&M tonight. Lance has mentioned it several times on the show that Alabama's got a massive height advantage if they want one because A&M's not a particularly tall team. Is that the way you combat them? I mean, do you run Sherrell and Bediako out there at the same time knowing that A&M can't handle that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But just like Jim just said, man, we also getting on the crap table thinking we can hit 7 on the first roll out every time. Sometimes that yo gonna fall. You ain't gonna get paid. You stake out and everything else. So I mean, you're gambling in a sense. You know, you want to go out there. If that's what you're gonna do, you got to lean into that, and hopefully, you can control the boards. But man, let me tell you, this A&M team, I think a lot of us are still waiting because of the way their schedule kind of paired out for them. It's like, are they that for real? But they continue to throttle teams, not just beat them, throttle some, and some win by, you know, by the hairs on their chin down there with the Aggies. But I do think, man, the formula that Bucky plays with, it doesn't change. So if you can go down there and enforce it, if they can come to Alabama and Alabama can enforce their will in T-Town, then there's something else to be able to control those boards and be able to get some interior scoring, high efficient scoring, and then you open it up with all those 3 balls that Alabama likes to shoot. But I will say, man, A&M, that's kind of up their alley a little bit, man. They're not scared of anyone. They play with fear that it's like David versus Goliath every match, and they're always David, and they got 2 or 3 slingshots coming from a different direction.
Listen, I know the point spread was 23 points in Alabama and Florida, but I said on the show Monday, I don't remember ever watching a beatdown like that between 2 good teams, especially in the paint. I mean, it was 72-26 in the paint. Had you ever seen a game like that?
No, that was one of them. Good gosh, man! You watching when you come in from school and you done got that bad grade, and you trying to hide your report card underneath the pillow, and your mom and them already got the call from the school, and they like, yeah, he made an F in this class, and they just gonna play it off until you present the report card, and you gonna get the beating of your life, boy. That was it. Florida gave it to him, and I've never seen anything like that. And I understood what it was with Chinyelu being in the paint. I didn't expect Alex Condon to play that way. Thomas Houck, I think we all knew, but I thought coming into it with Bediako being a guy that could kind of stabilize him, not necessarily with the beef, but that length could disturb him a little bit. Man, Chinye Lou was treating him like a rag doll. And I think it started from there. It started from that point alone. And to be able to get into the paint and score so easily, straight line drives, getting out in transition, it was a real true clinic put on by Florida. And I'm sure, man, I don't know what Nate Oates' film sessions are like, but I can imagine, man, this one right here, a lot of coaches would say burn it. This one right here, I'm pretty sure they had to watch this one over and over and over again. And it should be a very, very sour taste in their mouth. And to your point about A&M coming in there, if you can't dominate after the performance you just came off of, we got some other things that we got to deal with if you're Alabama.
Slay, back to Charles Bediako, very polarizing situation. Through 3 games, where do you think Bediako is right now as a player, and how much better can he be in the next 6 weeks?
Well, I think he's where he is when he left off, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, however long ago it was. I think he's the exact same player. I think a little bit more polished IQ-wise defensively and instinctively, but to me, he wasn't one that was going to change the game because he's never been a back to the basket type guy that you throw it in and say, hey, man, go give me 8 straight buckets and dominate. That's not who he is, but he's also a guy that should be able to help this team emerge as a better defensive team, and we've yet to see that, in my opinion, from this group. So I think right now I give him a B-, from where he should be, and the ceiling is an A+ without question. How does he get there? I think he has to learn, like you just said, learn how to play with Sherelle, because I thought, man, it's stunning his growth a bit. Sherelle was coming off of averaging 20 and 10 the last 3 games before Bediako walked in, and they were winning, and he was seeming to be established as a guy you can give the ball into the post to and say, go and get a bucket. So if they can get Bediako to intertwine with him, it'll be fine. It's just only so much that can happen when you got a 3-guard lineup and you know what you're going to get, and they're so potent. I take my risk if I'm Alabama, letting my guys, the guards, get busy with the lobs and stuff, than thinking that I'm going to give it to Bediako and I'm going to have some kind of real production. I can't see more than the max being 14 and 14 of a great night for Bediako.
I'm going to give you the 4 or 5 loss teams, the middle of the pack teams in the SEC. You tell me who breaks out, you think, of that pack, and who you think may fall out of that pack the wrong way. They are Missouri, Auburn, Texas, Alabama, Georgia. All those teams have 4 or 5 losses at the midpoint here.
No question, Alabama.
Okay, Alabama up. You think Alabama up?
Yeah, no question.
Right.
There's no question. The way LeBaron Fallon plays, Wright-Sale being healthy to be able to help this group, Aiden Holloway being healthy, that's the biggest part. You need these guys to be healthy walking into these games, especially in this end stretch before going in the conference tournament and things of that nature when you're jockeying for position. I think they'll be just fine, man. I will put more stock into them. I do like Georgia. Don't get it wrong. I like Georgia. My question is, will we see maturity out of a guy like Surreal, who's starting to get and this coming from a guy that got a bad rep every now and then, preceding me before walking into games, and Surreal's not helping himself sometimes. I saw last game, it was a foul, and he dove on the guy like he was in the Royal Rumble, and that wasn't even taking place yet. So I was like, okay, well, maybe he's not there yet, but the maturation of him would be very, very that would be well received by Georgia if he were to do that, because Mike White got some good guards, man, and they depend on him to be able to make that impact defensively and offensively.
I stayed at the worst hotel ever during the NCAA tournament last year in Newark, New Jersey, or so I thought. It was it had to be 1988 last time I saw a ceiling fan in a hotel room. Do you have a ceiling fan?
Yeah.
Jim, you see that ceiling fan going, man. This is the other thing about the West Coast. These older hotels, man, they ain't got no AC. I don't know who the hell booked this with no air conditioner for a big old dude like me, but I had the window cracked last night when I walked in. The window. Really, I'm on the 7th floor with the window cracked, and I got the door open where I can get some kind of cross breeze with the fan going. Hey man,
So gotta ask, can you get ice outside of the room? Like, does your door open to the outside parking lot? And can you put change in the bed and get a vibration?
Wow.
No, we can't put the change in the bed to get a vibration. But I tell you one thing, man, you might put a quarter in something in this refrigerator, make sure it keeps running. You got some cold to keep in there. So and my door luckily is not to the outside, but I'm gonna be honest, the way the stairwell built out here, it might as well be to the outside.
Hey, see, Slay is like me. If you've got a fan, whether it is a ceiling fan, a floor fan, or whatever, there are two speeds: off and full blast. I'm with you on that, Slay. Yep.
Listen, I played with my life in my own hands last night. I got on my knees, said a prayer, and asked the good Lord, man, watch over me, because this fan is rocking up here. At any moment, this thing could come off while I'm asleep. My little body just be chopped up. It'll be something else, but I'll be cool.
He'll die cold. He'll die cold and chopped up. Slay, enjoy the Super Bowl, buddy. We appreciate the time as always. Be careful.
Hey, no doubt, fellas. Hey, Jimmy, I'm gonna need to throw a little headband around that mic, man.
That's right.
In homage of your guy when I come through, man.
Please do. Please do. Hey, do you take the headband on the road, or you got it with you?
What? Jimmy, have you ever watched Superman? You ever watched Superman? Man, I come with all colors and everything. I don't miss out, Jimmy, baby. This don't never happen.
When do you put it on? When the maid comes in?
With the heat in that room, you probably slept in it.
Don't worry. When you see me on Saturday on SEC Network, you say how to get so slim. Don't worry, it was just a sweat. Don't worry.
All right, Slay, be good, buddy. Thank you.
All right, fellas.
All right, we'll see you. That is the great Ron Slay on the Alexander Shannara Attorneys Hotline. I love that man. Yeah, it's so funny.
And our show brought to you by Alexander Shannara, trial attorney. Tell us about Alexander.
Yeah, Shannara.com. I would imagine if a ceiling fan fell off and chopped you up, Shannara can handle that case.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's probably, that doesn't even make it.
That'd be training wheels.
Yeah, don't know what kind of policy that hotel would have. Seems like an old school mom and pop.
They'd let the freshman class come in and take it. You guys take this one.
Only that one sees the inside of a courtroom there. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, a national firm with Southern roots. They are headquartered right here in Birmingham. And for more than 25 years, they've grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. And that team has recovered more than $2 billion for their clients, maintaining Alexander's core values. Those are integrity, mastery, passion, and success. So when you find yourself in need of an attorney for any reason, Shannara Trial Attorneys, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, you don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shannara.com, Shannara.com.
So pretty soon, Brown's going to put out a tutorial on how you can figure out how to use Kalshi. If you're not familiar with that, he'll give you a tutorial. Lanceslock.com, after Brown gives you that, Lanceslock.com would be a great place to go to, maybe take some of Lance's knowledge and take it over to Brown's Kalshi.
Combine the two.
And make the worlds collide there. Lanceslock.com tonight.
Yeah, 4-2 last night. More NBA and college basketball up and available. A free play every single day. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling issues in your home or business, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Okay, a couple of Alabama football notes, but the biggest being Alabama officially has Adrian Clem now as their offensive line coach. Says Kalen DeBoer, Adrian Clem has a reputation for recruiting and developing players at every level, having worked with some of the top offensive lines in his 15-plus years of coaching. Most recently, he was helping out at USC.
Yep.
Had a unbelievable offensive line at Oregon in 2022, was great with the Steelers in 2020. He's got a great reputation, and boy, if you ask Alabama fans, that is a position that needs to improve tremendously, and here comes the guy they hope that can fix it.
Yeah, look, I don't know how much his fingerprints were on that offensive line for USC, but they cut their sacks in half, going from 24 to 25. They ran the football much, much better this year. So, this is something, back to the conversation Brown and I had yesterday, where's the concern level for Alabama fans when it comes to quarterback? The offensive line is much higher than quarterback. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Here's where I think Alabama fans will get optimistic. I'm not going to say excited yet, optimistic. If you go look at his coaching resume, which started as a GA at SMU, UCLA 2012, run game coordinator and offensive line coach. After that, run game coordinator, offensive line coach. Oregon, associate head coach, run game coordinator, offensive line coach. The amount of times you see the phrase run game coordinator show up on his resume, I think has to excite you if you're an Alabama. I went ahead and used the word excite you. Has to make you optimistic if you're an Alabama fan that Kalen DeBoer has looked at this and has said, where are we the most efficient? Well, it's in the run game. All right, well, let's go get a guy that has been run game coordinator on the college level.
But in talking to Coach DeBoer, it's not at the detriment of the passing game because of what he was able to do, limiting sacks, leading the country in 2022 at Oregon, leading the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but also to your point with a background when you think of Pittsburgh Steeler football, what do you think of?
A run.
The physical run.
Physical run game. Yeah, it's a physical brand of football. Yeah,
that's
no
right.
doubt.
That's right. So that is exciting for Alabama football fans there. By the way, if you're in the mood for Alabama football tonight, go to the basketball game at Coleman Coliseum. Ryan Williams will be there. A little meet and greet going on tonight out in the lobby if you want to go talk to Ryan Williams.
Got to earn that NIL money. You got to show that you earn it, and here's a part of it for Ryan Williams. So, I mean, if you want to thank him for taking some NIL money, go get an autograph.
Low-hanging fruit. Hope he doesn't drop the pen.
Oh. Look at him palming the basketball.
No, how about that? He is palming a basketball.
He can dunk. Don't you think he can
I
dunk?
think he probably dunk, but I'm surprised he can palm it. I mean, what is Ryan Williams?
Yeah, that does look Photoshopped, though, to be
it
honest with
probably
you.
is. Yeah.
Looks like he's doing that to a football, and we've Photoshopped a basketball
Took
over
the
there.
basketball out, put the football in?
Not trying to take anything away.
No. But I bet he could dunk. I mean, he can jump high enough to dunk. You know he can. He's an athletic guy. What is he, 6'1"?
Oh, no, he's not that tall.
You don't think he's 6'1"?
Oh, there's no doubt he can dunk, though. I don't care how tall he is.
Yeah.
I would bet he's 5'11".
5'11", okay.
Yeah. He can dunk, though.
Oh, but yeah, I bet he can dunk.
Yeah. He can dunk, though.
I don't know if he can palm a basketball.
I bet he can. I bet he
don't know
can.
how as big his
I mean,
hands
you
are.
can, right?
Google has him listed as 6 foot.
Okay.
So he's 5'11".
Probably.
Yeah.
Can you palm a basketball?
Not really.
I could.
Yeah.
Could you ever grab rim?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I
Sorry to
could.
insult you. I wasn't looking at Dunaway. I was looking at you. Could you grab rim, Dunaway?
I never was able to grab it. I was able in high school to touch it.
Yeah. See, I could grab it, but I couldn't get up there with the palm enough to dunk. You know what I'm saying?
See, I could dunk it. Like I've dunked a basketball before.
Yeah.
But I could dunk anything. I mean, like I could reverse a volleyball.
Volleyball, smaller basketball, girls basketball.
Yeah, anything I could. It was just I couldn't palm a basketball.
We used to do the volleyballs.
Yeah, I could dunk a girls basketball or volleyball. I could not dunk a real basketball because I couldn't palm it. But I could hang on the rim. We shattered a backboard once at Sykes High School. You ever seen a shattered backboard in person? That's a lot of glass.
Not in person.
A lot of glass, my
With
friend.
a breakaway rim?
Yep, with a breakaway rim and a table pulled up under it so we could...
Bunch of unathletic white guys hanging from a
absolutely
breakaway rim.
And they scatter like roaches.
That walk down memory lane brought to you by Culver's. Before we get to the viewing menu, an amazing piece of video. Would you do it after Brownie tells us about Culver's?
Culver's, I would definitely do that. Welcome to Delicious at Culver's. Whether it is a win or a loss, great place to go is Culver's to celebrate or just heck, forget about it. With one of those juicy butter burgers, those crispy golden crinkle cut fries, those gooey cheese curds, and don't forget that creamy custard at the end. That's what you get at Culver's. And when in Birmingham, you can go Stadium Trace or Tattersall Park and enjoy a local Culver's or any Culver's near you. Culver's, welcome to Delicious.
All right. Doug Gottlieb, I believe, is the guy that sent this out. Would you do this? It's cold up north.
Mm-hmm.
And is there a bay in Green Bay?
Yeah, it's on a bay.
Yeah, it's on a bay, right?
Yeah,
Is it called Green Bay? The
Yeah,
bay?
Brooks used to work there. Brooks used to work in Milwaukee. Is there a bay in Green Bay?
Yes. I'm trying to think of what the lake is called up there now. It's Door County that Green Bay connects to, which is like
well, I don't need you to go James Spann and tell me
I know,
the
but
county and
yeah, it's called
Mom
Green,
and
it's
Pop
called
Little
Green
Meat and
Bay.
Three. Yeah.
It stems off of one of the Great Lakes.
How icy does it get? How cold this time of year? Is it frozen?
Oh yeah, for sure. They showed a video yesterday of like that frat party on ice
party
water,
on
and
the
I was
ice,
gonna
yeah.
bring it up, but I never did. Like I've seen people drive cars ice fishing
Oh,
at lakes in Wisconsin.
Funny you should say that. Doug Gottlieb looking out his back door. That's out in the middle of the bay, by the way, folks. That's a Suburban just cruising around out in the middle of the bay. Would you do it, or would you not do it?
Negatron.
I'm going to pass. I mean, where's he heading?
Yeah, I mean, you're just doing this for...
Probably ice fishing, as Brooks was saying.
I mean, every movie I've seen, either you're going to kill somebody out there or you're going ice fishing. Not interested in either.
I mean, I've seen like dozens of trucks lined up on different lakes in Wisconsin ice fishing.
Negative.
I mean, you've got to really believe that is. I mean, how thick of ice do you want that to be?
Yeah, I mean, because I presume in parts of Lake Michigan it's frozen across, right? I mean, Lake Michigan is quite large, but I would presume you could drive across Lake Michigan, maybe, Brooks.
No, because
you don't think so?
It's too big.
No, because they have ports that they use to like bring goods back
so they
and
do
forth.
break the ice.
Yeah, they have icebreaker boats that go through and
without those you could.
Yeah,
Lake Michigan, you don't appreciate how big those Great Lakes are till you see them. Those things are
it's
massive.
an ocean.
I know.
You know, one thing I never see on Doug Gottlieb's feed
Green Bay basketball,
winning basketball,
him breaking down film.
I think he stopped his show.
No,
though,
he gave his show up finally.
Yeah,
I think Green Bay was like, hey, this was cute to begin with, but boy, we suck.
So apparently, he went like 5-1 after stopping his show.
So next will be an assistant.
What?
You give up the show, then the assistant.
Yeah, I will tell you that he. I would imagine Nate Oates didn't spend a lot of time staring at Lake Tuscaloosa after that Florida beatdown.
Probably
he
not.
wasn't staring out his window. But to your point, Gottlieb's teams turned it around. I saw that he was complaining about the Ken Palm the other day, that he's not getting credit in the Ken Palm because of his out-of-conference schedule.
Well, I mean, look, 4-28 year one, 12-12 this year. So
that's a heck of an improvement.
It is, yeah.
That may trend well, may get into a meaningful conference tournament game for Gottlieb at Green Bay. That's our basketball look. We get to the viewing menu brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, make the phone call that I made 2003. Dr. Mark Michelson, the first to perform the laser procedure in the state of Alabama in 1995. I had the 2200 vision, legally blind without the aid of contacts after the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision, better than 2020. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Turner. The next round, Cynthia. She will hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Green Bay's 239 in Ken Palm. What's Doug want?
Well, he's just saying that they didn't have any bye games in the early on for them to. I think Oakland is who he's comparing to. They lost a lot of bye games,
so they help.
It helps them.
I got you. All right. Sorry, Tyler. Go ahead.
You're good. On Disney Plus tonight, we've got a brand new release. I'm very excited for it. It's a brand new reboot of The Muppet Show. You got Kermit, Miss Piggy, and the whole cast back together with a special event. There's going to be music, there's going to be comedy, and a lot of chaos. It's going to be produced and starring Seth Rogen.
Yep.
And special guest tonight, Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, how about that? As a kid, I loved The Muppet Show.
I did too, and I wondered if it was we didn't have a lot of options. I love the fact that you had a bunch of cameos from celebrities. They did a lot of spin-offs.
Yeah, I would hear my parents laughing a lot too, though, while I was watching it. So I gathered that there was some humor.
Adult humor, yeah, much like
adults.
Pixar films.
That's
and
right,
things
yeah.
like that.
Seth Rogen was a big fan of it growing up, so he is trying to make it look like exactly the same way as it was as we were kids.
I love Statler and Waldorf,
Yeah.
the grumpy old men in the balcony bitching about everything.
Does
They were
not
funny.
surprise me.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I work with them every day.
Netflix has a new series out for Valentine's Day. Is It Cake? Valentine's Day edition. So if you ever just like finding out if it is cake, you got a whole new series to watch. Amazon Prime has the Fallout Season 2 finale, so that means I've got to catch up and watch the last few episodes.
Someone in the
finish this
chat gave it 3 flames emojis, said it was fire. 3 flame emojis in the chat.
Wow, that's a lot of flame emojis.
That is 3.
All right, I'll have to check it out. I've heard Paulton Goggins is absolutely phenomenal this season. And then finally, today I may go see the horror movie Iron Lung. It is about a guy on a submarine that is like poorly run down, and he's looking for something, I forget.
I thought he was going across like blood on a apocalyptic moon.
Yeah, it's like
based
a
on
blood
a video
ocean.
game. It sounds ridiculous.
It sounds ridiculous, but it used the most amount of fake blood ever used in a movie.
Oh, wow.
80,000 gallons.
Well, I think it's low budget. I think they only spent like $18 million on it.
Well, a lot of that was on fake blood, it sounds like.
I want to say, it was something like that. And then, it crushed it recently because The director is a big YouTuber. He's got a massive following, and so now Disney's streak of having the #1 weekend at the box office got snapped by this guy who used to make Five Nights at Freddy's videos in his bedroom.
Oh,
and that's all I got.
All right, that's what Tyler is watching tonight. Tonight, these guys are with our friends at Odie's. You guys are traveling out there for a little trivia tonight,
Yeah,
right?
so here's probably the plan. Get there early, 6 o'clock.
Yep. It's going to be on, Will just told us it's going to be on the big screen.
Alabama will be on the big screen there. You can enjoy some of the great food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it almost 4 decades. Sit back, enjoy the game, the food, and then Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every Wednesday night. The original location at Crestline. We'll start a little after 8 o'clock. We'll start actually when A&M Alabama is over.
No overtime, Nate.
So 8:20.
Oh,
8:20 probably. But come out, join us. Always fun, always competitive. We've got prizes. We've got the Odie's famous cup cocktails available, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. But get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution. It's Odie's Tavern.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical offices, Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Ball is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll get to 4 downs in just a second in this segment and talk a little Super Bowl as well. And recap all the developing college football news early on here. What are you laughing at?
I was just watching in the break, and they showed the Miles Morgan photo, and I know you sent something out about Miles last night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My daughter, sorority girl.
Anna Kate, the older one.
Yeah, my oldest. I'm sorry, Anna
yeah.
Kate, the sorority girl down at University of South Alabama, texted me out of the blue, said, "Didn't Miles Morgan play in your studio?" I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "They're trying to book him for whatever formal it is where all the sororities and all get together, a party or whatever it is for all the sororities." And she said he's agreed to do the show free if we get enough people to come to the bar he's playing at the night before. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure he has."
Yeah.
So, Miles is a nice-looking young man. I'm sure he will play a sorority show free if you get enough people to come to a bar.
Longtime girlfrend, if I remember him
That is true.
in studio, wrote a song about it, but he makes his money at the bar.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so it works free at the
Yeah,
store.
young love is volatile.
Yeah, I told her you ought to do it. You ought to do it. He's good.
But we'll get back to football and all of the other stuff I was teasing there. Brought to you this hour by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. LT, get us going here. And interesting poll from our friends at Field of 68 after you tell us about New York Butcher.
Yeah, a couple of things going on right now with our friend Jim and the great staff of butchers at the New York Butcher Shop. Of course, you've got the Super Bowl coming up this weekend and your opportunity to order either the Boston Butt fully smoked, $39.99 each, reservations only. You can pick that up Friday or Saturday, and the smoked chicken wings. These will be available after Saturday afternoon. The numbers: Cabo Heights 205-970-7300, Greystone 205-703-8825, and don't forget about Valentine's Day a week from this Saturday. You can get that Valentine's Day special: 2 certified Angus beef fillets, 2 twice baked potatoes, fresh salad for 2, yeast rolls, the choice $69.99, the prime $79.99. Available for pickup next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday the 12th, 13th, and 14th. Rare quality, well done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
Okay, before we show you the Field of 68 rankings, they polled all 16 SEC basketball coaches anonymously and told them to rank the SEC jobs 1 through 16. And you get 16 points for being in first place, 15, you know how polls work.
So this is basketball, you said?
This is basketball.
Yeah,
all
they've been-
16 basketball
They've
coaches.
been doing this for every conference, and I've been waiting for the SEC one, and I forgot to look. So it's out. I have not seen it. All right.
Okay. So it is out. My question to you before we look at it is, where do you put Alabama and where did you put Auburn? Because at one point at Auburn, it would have been 16 of 16.
Yeah, dead last. Them or Ole Miss would have been dead last, one of those two.
Yeah.
And I don't think either one of those are dead last now, though. Yeah, I think I do know who's dead last.
Yeah, I think South Carolina
Yeah.
would be
I
dead
think
last.
they're dead last.
The interesting thing is where LSU basketball is now. LSU can't be higher than 14.
They can't, but, you look, I don't know how much historically matters, but they've been to Final Fours, 2 Final Fours with different coaches. It wasn't just like one guy got them there.
Very much like football with different coaches,
Yeah.
different times. 16 coaches in the SEC, 16 jobs. They're polled. Where do you think Auburn and Alabama fall?
So if I could just walk through it real quick, I think Kentucky and Arkansas will be 1 and 2.
Florida's going to be,
Kentucky, Arkansas,
Florida might be
1, 2, and
in
3.
front of Arkansas.
Yeah, you're right about that. I shouldn't have said that quick.
Yeah, and then Tennessee's going to be 4.
So where do you put Alabama and Auburn?
I think you were.
You don't have to get it right. Just
I think
We're to the
Alabama's
Alabama
going to be
neighborhood
6 to 8, and I think Auburn is going to be 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Wow, so you put Alabama ahead of Auburn.
I would, yeah.
Despite
just I mean, look, recent
8,000
history.
straight sellouts.
Well, I mean, that's not sellouts aren't going to impact me one way or the other.
And I think the arena does help.
I think what your coaches are going to look at is, all right, historically, how many guys have won at these places? One guy's won at Auburn. One guy. So that most coaches are going to look at that and say, there's a reason only one guy's won there. They'll look at Alabama and be like, nobody's won really, 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 really big there, but a lot of guys have won there.
Yeah, I think they're going to be close, but I think they're both 8-12.
You guys are pretty close, pretty spot on. All 16 coaches put Kentucky number 1. Texas is number 2. I didn't hear a lot of Texas.
I tell you, I just don't get it.
Arkansas 3, Tennessee 4, Florida 5. Texas A&M is the most surprising one on the board to me.
Wow.
Nobody's ever won anything
at number
there.
6.
Well, no, I think Texas and Texas A&M. Nobody's ever won anything at Texas. I mean, Rick Barnes went to that one Final Four.
Yeah,
but
TJ
these are
Ford.
current coaches anonymously. I think they're looking at the money. Alabama is 7, Missouri is 8, Auburn is 9, LSU 10, Georgia, Vandy, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, who's about to get a new arena, part of the entertainment district there.
And a new coach.
Yeah, and a
probably.
new coach, yeah.
Mississippi State 15 and South Carolina 16.
I'm a little surprised how high Georgia is. That's another puzzling job. Like, it would seem like in Metro Atlanta, you could recruit a starting 5 just out of Metro Atlanta, it would seem. Not to mention the other places Georgia can go recruit in that state.
Yeah.
And what have they ever done there?
Well, just as good as Georgia high school football is, you got to think the basketball is pretty competitive.
It's got to be.
You would think.
Yeah.
But boy, they have never done anything.
I mean, look, we've seen Georgia Tech make a lot of noise in the past at different times under Bobby Crimmins and Paul Hewitt. And
It's been a long, long
That's
time.
been a long
Yes,
time,
but I
yeah.
mean, Hugh Durham was the last Final Four we saw for the Georgia Bulldogs, and that's been forever ago. I'm really surprised with Oklahoma because we talked about Oklahoma yesterday. Porter Moser not doing the job a lot of people believed he would do coming from Loyola. But you look back to Billy Tubbs and Lon Kruger and Kelvin Sampson. I mean, a lot of people have won at that job.
Jeff Goodman and the great folks at Field of 68 talking to the coaches anonymously and ranking them out there. Interesting on where Alabama and Auburn are because they have been 2 of the 4 best jobs in recent years. Since Nate Oates got to Tuscaloosa and since Bruce got it going at Auburn, those have been 2 of the 4 best jobs in the SEC on the court.
Yeah, I think that's a bad list. I know it was coaches that did it, but I think I do. I think it's a bad list.
The coaches don't know what they're talking about.
I don't think they do.
Well, I mean,
I think they're looking at money.
Well, I think they're all looking at this on if I had an opportunity to take any of these jobs. That's the way.
right.
If I'm a coach and you ask me to do it, like, all right, you're out of your job, or you put your job where you think it is, and you got an opportunity to take these jobs, and every one of them are open. Which one are you taking first? They're all going to say Kentucky. I'm not surprised at that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
personally
say
believe
that,
Nate Oates
but-
turned down number 1 and number 2, Kentucky and Texas.
You think he turned Texas down? Too?
I do.
Okay.
I think Nate Oates has had an opportunity since he's been at Alabama to be the Kentucky coach and to be the Texas coach, and he's turned them down. The 2 easiest jobs in the SEC, best jobs in the SEC.
Here's where I will contradict myself. There's not nearly the pressure at Texas than Kentucky. I don't think Texas is one of the top 2 jobs, but they've never done anything before. So if you are to win a national championship there, and I thought Chris Beard would be the guy to do it before he was removed, and now at Ole Miss, I think there's just so much pressure, and everyone's done it at Kentucky.
Go ahead.
I don't see how you have Tennessee in front of Florida. That's the one that I don't. I mean, Tennessee's a nice job, but my gosh, I mean,
Well, if you had Tennessee in front of Texas, I got no problem with it. But in front of
Florida. I mean, guy after guy after guy has won at Florida.
But if you look at the little numbers beside it, the gap between 5 and 6 is huge. Like, you can tell just by the numbers of the poll, like there is no doubt on who the best 5 jobs are in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You may debate on what order they should be in. Kentucky, Texas, Arkansas, Tennessee, Florida. That ranges between 256 and 210. Between 5 and 6 is 210 to 148.
Yeah.
So those top 5 jobs were in everybody's top 5.
Yeah, and to your point on number 6, A&M, I think these guys are shitting on Bucky. And they're like, oh, this is a really good job. Like, how many people really wanted the Texas A&M job? There's a lot of money there. But when we had Bucky on the show last week, they didn't even have enough money to put together a roster last year.
And as much as we love Bucky, and everybody knows we love Bucky, he was not their first choice. I mean, a lot of guys passed on that job. Heck, what's his name? Buzz had the job, and he passed it up for Maryland. I mean, I don't know that Maryland's a better job than but they have been awful this year.
Yeah, I mean, historically at basketball, Maryland has been better.
But this day and age, is it that much of a better job?
All right. Good, interesting look there at Field of 68. If you subscribe and want to go read their their newsletter, but a great podcast here on the same places you get our podcast, the folks at the Field of 68, the 16 head coaches in the SEC with a anonymous poll there with Jeff Goodman and the rest of the folks at the Field of 68. All right, back to college football, brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, our friends at UCA. They will help you stay on top of your health, whether it's prostate health, kidney stones, everything in between, vasectomies, they do it all. And they have for over 70 years at Urology Centers of Alabama. 205-930-0920, 930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com. 16 wonderful location, the best urologist in the business, and compassionate care is what they're known for. It's all right there. urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com. The biggest story in college football locally is Alabama getting an offensive coordinator in Adrian Clem. That's official now. It's been
offensive line coach.
What now?
Yeah, offensive line.
What did I say?
Offensive coordinator.
Okay,
Just
offensive line coach.
Make it clear that Ryan Grubb didn't quit.
Sorry, Ryan Grubb.
Yes.
My apologies. Continue to be on the road recruiting like he was yesterday. But the biggest story everyone's talking about around the country is the lawsuit and the TRO granted to Joey Aguilar, who is about to become, if that holds up, an 8th-year senior starting quarterback at Tennessee. And right now his TRO is good. And if you're following the Tennessee quarterback room, it's either Aguilar or
McIntyre?
Yeah, or a recruit.
Yeah. And again, we talked with Clay, an ardent Tennessee fan yesterday. He's like, I'd kind of like to move on to the young guys. I don't know how you guys feel about Aguilar this past season. Like, to start the season, I thought, hey, this guy, man, they've upgraded from Nico. And maybe the season as a whole, they probably did upgrade from Nico, but I thought it was a pretty obvious upgrade to start the year. Middle of the year to the end, he didn't quite stick the landing, as we say.
Well, look, he didn't have the deep threats that Tennessee's had over the last couple of years. Like, he throws a really, really pretty deep ball. And with his experience, like, I think in year 2 in Heupel's system, I think he's going to be much better. So, again, I'm in the camp that I would rather have Aguilar back for that 8th year of college football.
Are you surprised that Pavia is not pursuing this? Because if Aguilar could get approved, Pavia can.
I think Pavia is kind of sold that he's going to be on an NFL roster.
Yeah, maybe he will be. If so, I'll look like an idiot for asking that question, though I think he'd be making more money.
He would definitely make more money
Nashville.
Coming back.
I guess technically if one of these rulings go a certain way, he could come back.
Yeah, I mean, he can always, again, he could get drafted and be in a camp and come back the way the TROs are going now. I find this one really interesting because basically we are challenging the core of the NCAA, their eligibility rules. If you take the eligibility rules away from the NCAA, guys, you tell me what the NCAA is really doing for collegiate sports right now. If they don't have eligibility rules to enforce, if a judge weakens their ability to enforce their eligibility rules, why do we have the NCAA? Give me one thing they do.
They stage and pay for
the basketball tournament.
All the other NCAA championships.
They do
everything but
that,
football.
Yes. But the basketball tournament is the one everybody watches, and I guess Omaha. But I'm sure a consortium of schools are like, yeah, we could do that too. We could put that on ourselves and keep all the money. I'm just saying, if you take away their ability to enforce eligibility rules, I don't know what the NCAA serves, what purpose they serve for the schools anymore.
Really important under the radar comments coming out of Super Bowl week out in Santa Clara from Roger Goodell, who said he is in favor of clarity when it comes to eligibility in college football. He supports the eligibility rules, and he is willing to work with college football officials to enforce eligibility rules. That's a huge statement that went under the radar for NFL people because they're focused on the Super Bowl. But in the college football world, if the NFL ever decides they want to work with college football because they are getting a free minor league system,
100%,
then that would be very powerful. So keep an eye on Roger Goodell this offseason, what he possibly could do to help clean up college football a little bit.
Now, I'm sure if college football says, I'm glad you said that. One thing that would help us is you guys move those games off Saturday so we can have our playoff on Saturday. He's going to say,
he didn't say that.
I'm not helping you that much.
He was talking about eligibility rules. But
they'd be crazy not to help them, though, because to your point, like Major League Baseball and NBA are spending a fortune on minor league systems.
That's right.
And they don't pay a dime for theirs.
And all it would take, by the way, is for Roger Goodell to say anyone who is deemed ineligible by the NCAA, an athlete that's deemed ineligible by the NCAA, is not eligible for the NFL.
You cannot enter our draft.
Forget the draft.
Yeah.
You cannot be in the NFL. If you're deemed ineligible by the NCAA, you're not eligible to play in the NFL. And they have the antitrust. They have what college football is seeking. They have the power to control who's in their league and not in their league.
And the Players Association would definitely go that route.
Because it would mean more more longevity for their roster spots.
Yeah.
Their current roster spots.
And that's all it would take.
Yeah.
If you are deemed ineligible by the NCAA, you do not have a spot in the NFL.
So why do you think they won't do that?
I don't know.
Do you think he just wants to be asked to do it?
I don't know.
Ineligible in what way, though?
You can't play in the NFL?
I'm talking about if you're ineligible, why are you ineligible at the college level?
If you violate any rule and you're deemed, if you're banned for 1 year, 2 years, and that's 2 years that you cannot come and play in the NFL until your suspension is over in the NCAA. If you are one of these guys who are trying to, I don't know.
Let me ask
a
you this.
variety of different things that can make you ineligible.
But I mean, the difference in the NBA and Major League Baseball, as part of those farm systems, they are under that umbrella.
Yeah. Two-part question on this one.
I mean, it's two completely separate systems.
Do you think the NCAA would like for him to do that? The NCAA, the rulemaking body, would like for Goodell to do that.
I think they're looking for any
help.
One thing you can do
and
you can
credibility
expect is Congress not to clean this up.
No.
So
Congress doesn't need to be involved in it.
At some point, the NCAA has got to clean this up, and the only sports entity that can help them clean it up is the NFL.
I agree with you on that. I think the NCAA would welcome this because it would give them teeth back. It would get them back in the
That's right.
penalty business. The second part of that question, the Greg Burns, Greg Sankey's, John Cohen's, Verge Allsbury's, all the athletic directors and the power conferences, do you think they would want the NFL to do that? Because I do not. I don't.
You don't? Why?
Because I think these programs want to operate with a toothless NCAA. I know they think they've got a set of problems here, but I think they feel like in the long run they can solve their own problems, and they don't want the NCAA doing it for them. I think they want to solve the problems on their terms.
That is something to keep an eye on as we move throughout this offseason. 4 Downs today brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg continuing that trend of asking ChatGPT to create a caricature of everything important in his life, and this is the one that popped up for Greg from Pell City. Greg with a hammer, Andrea running the business in the middle, and I made his ChatGPT there. Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg from Pell City. Large microphone, my headsets, my next round hat on, and as he said, a firm grip around Andrea's left shoulder. It's all right there at Storm Restoration Roofing. Look at those friendly faces there. Don't you want to trust those people on your roof? You see the lightning in the background. When storms come your way, Greg from Pell City and his team at Storm Restoration Roofing can help you out. All you have to do is go to their website, stormrestorationroofing.com, or call the number 205-542-3531. It's got a soft wash program. Got a soft wash program for you there that can help you with the way your roof looks from the street. It can help you with extending the life of your roof. He's got that for you. He can help you with roof replacement, but it all starts with a free no-cost roof inspection. 205-542-3531. And our 4 Downs brought to you always by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt.
Yeah, if you're looking for asphalt work done right the first time, call Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction, based in Tuscaloosa. They're a full-service asphalt contractor, trusted on major state government and municipal roadway projects across Central Alabama. They're not just a big job company. They also have a dedicated division focused entirely on private driveways, smaller asphalt projects, same crews, same quality, same no-excuse standards, no matter the size of the job, from highways to neighborhoods. Central Alabama Asphalt, client-oriented, quality-focused, and built to deliver. For estimates or opportunities, call 205-764-4961 and be sure to visit centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
Couple of celebrity birthdays. First off, shout out to Joel Klatt, our buddy, 44 years old today.
Oh, how about that?
He is not in 4 Downs, though.
Better Joel Klatt or Joel Osteen?
I would rather have Klatt's job.
Too.
Yeah. Lawrence Taylor, 67 years old. Oscar De La Hoya, 53. Better career, De La Hoya or LT?
I don't know the boxing game well enough. I mean, I know De La Hoya was really, really good.
Well, I mean, I'll give you some background. You know, won a gold medal. Like, if I could go back to any Olympics outside of Jesse Owens dominating.
Yeah, that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah. 1992 Barcelona. I mean, when you had the dream team, you had Oscar De La Hoya winning a gold medal. But De La Hoya, 11 world titles in 6 different weight classes.
Okay.
And Golden Boy Productions or promotions. I mean, you know, what he's made as a promoter, it's no telling. But I still probably would go with LT.
Lawrence Taylor for me, too.
I think Lawrence Taylor, probably the most dominant defensive player we've ever seen in the National Football League. Hard to win an MVP as a defensive player.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Lawrence Taylor. I don't know boxing well enough. You made a great case, though.
But I think it's close.
Yeah, I think I'd go Lawrence Taylor, though.
Second down.
Was Barcelona that Olympics? Was that there was a brief snapshot moment where CBS had the Olympics?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know who had it. I remember it was before my Jocks days, but I remember Herb Winches and Tony Curry going over to Barcelona.
Am I wrong about that? Did CBS never have the Olympics?
I don't remember.
There was a brief period of time I thought
it always seemed like NBC and ABC.
It was ABC when I was a kid.
Yep.
Broadcasting. Here we go. Yeah, too much on this. I was trying to go the Wikipedia route here. I don't remember it ever being on CBS, to be honest with you, but I may not have known what I was watching it on, you know?
Yeah, me too.
In the United States, that Olympics was on NBC, according to Wikipedia. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, not that one, but maybe another one. I couldn't really tell you. I think the Winter Olympics used to be, now that I think about it. Are you thinking of the Winter Olympics?
1992 Winter Games was on CBS.
Yeah, I think I remember the Winter Games being on CBS.
In France.
Yeah, I guess that's before they combined the coverage.
And then 94 was Lillehammer.
Lillehammer.
Yeah.
Third down.
On this date in history, Super Bowl 41, Peyton Manning won his first Super Bowl. Colts 29-17 over the Bears. I remember doing a show from Workplay with you guys. I don't remember where y'all were, or at least you.
What year was that?
2006.
Were y'all at Workplay and I was at Winter's
me
apartment?
Me and Haney were at Workplay and you were at a Winter's apartment.
The two of us were at a Winter's apartment.
Oh, God, yeah.
I remember that promotion we did.
Yeah, I can tell you where exactly it was. It was...
or a house.
No, we were talking about the road earlier. It was on the road between Pelham and Helena that's getting a new bridge over the railroad crossings thanks to a $47.1 million donation from the federal government. It was out on that road.
Was that an apartment or a house? There was a house we went to, and they had a cul-de-sac party.
We dropped off some stuff at...
You and I did the apartment the year before or the year after.
Where nobody showed up.
That was the Raiders and Bucks.
We dropped off at an apartment some stuff and then went to a house.
Yeah,
where we had to watch the game.
And they had a got to watch the game, Jim. I remember they had a cul-de-sac party, and the thing I remember most about it is this couple had come to the Super Bowl party with us, and they had the baby monitor with them, and their baby was back at their house asleep by himself.
Yep. And I was nervous about it.
Wait, how far?
No, I mean, it was in a cul-de-sac. They were all in the same cul-de-sac. Yeah, I mean, they were next door, basically, but I'm kind of with Jim. I was like,
I think I ended up holding the baby monitor to make sure everything was okay. Trust me, that crowd, I was offering to go over there.
Okay, so my point on Super Bowl 41, halftime was Prince in the Rain down in Miami.
Great show.
It was a great show. Favorite halftime performance ever for you guys?
The halftime's never really been my thing. Prince was really, really good. Everybody raves about U2, and I know that was a meaningful performance. You were there for it.
I didn't see it.
Superdome.
Yeah, Superdome. 9/11. Yeah, it was meaningful because of the 9/11. I don't remember it being like a great performance.
It was the easiest time to get a beer.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to see you too. I think I probably got to go Prince.
To me, it was, and like this is kind of synonymous with Rams winning the Super Bowl, but Super Bowl 56, when it came to SoFi and you had Dr. Dre, and you had 50 Cent at that point. Everybody said a full $1.
Yeah.
You had Eminem. You had Snoop.
That was a fun one.
great halftime show.
Because I love that era, that 90s rap era, early 2000s.
I'm looking it up right now. Do I remember Tom Petty doing one in the late 80s, early 90s?
I saw Tom Petty actually do the Super Bowl halftime when the New England Patriot lost to the Giants in that upset in 2007.
So I do remember that.
So that was in Glendale.
Tom Petty. That was another one that I really, really liked. I was just trying to make sure I was right about that.
It's U2 for me, and it's bubblegum music, but I enjoyed Katy Perry's.
I just like the left or right chart.
Yeah, but it was bright and colorful. It looks like a halftime show, and U2 just translates to good stadium music. So
I remember.
It was really good.
I think the Weekends might have been the worst.
Aerosmith and NSYNC together. Y'all remember that one? That was pretty good. I remember Aerosmith being really good.
Yeah, that was
It was in
wardrobe.
Tampa.
Oh, that wasn't the wardrobe.
No, the wardrobe was
Justin Timberlake,
and
Janet in Houston.
Yeah,
with Kid Rock.
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, I think I'll go Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
And don't forget, for those that are interested, alternative halftime show on what's the company that owns 3340?
Oh, is that who's doing it? I thought it was Turning Point.
Yeah, it is Turning Point.
Turning Point's putting it on, but stations that are broadcasting, Sinclair, are they still own locally here?
Yeah, that's 3340. So they're showing it over the air?
Sinclair stations are offering it up. I don't know if the local one here in Birmingham is, but that is available over Sinclair stations around the country.
I knew it was available on YouTube. I didn't know they were doing
Kid Rock and some other folks.
You know we couldn't get more divisive when we've got separate,
I know.
separate Super Bowl halftime shows.
It's a great time to be an American.
That's I got options.
Was that 4?
No, that's only 2.
Well, we got off on a weird discussion.
Yeah, that's 2.
That's 2. That's 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Third down.
On this date in 1969, John Madden was named the head coach of the Oakland Raiders.
Youngest coach at the time, right?
He was at that time.
Yep.
Who was a bigger factor in their respective sport, John Madden or Phil Jackson?
Now, you say Madden because of the broadcast career and the video game and all of that.
I mean, Phil Jackson, 11 rings. Now, Madden did win an AFL championship, and he won 1 Super Bowl.
That's right. No, if you're counting broadcasting career and the Madden video games, it is John Madden.
I think it is Madden, too.
I always point out with John Madden that there are 4 networks that broadcast NFL games, and he was the lead commentator on all 4 networks, which to me doesn't get the respect it should. If you think about that, being the lead NFL commentator on all 4 major NFL networks is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
No, it really is.
It just means he was the voice of the NFL.
That's right.
Was a cornerstone to be bid on, and the highest bidder got him every time. Much like Herb Winch's was in the 70s, early 80s of local TV when there were 2 news stations, Channel 6 and 13. They went and paid for Herb twice.
That's what you want, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also tells me Madden had a great agent.
Fourth down.
Okay, this one might sound ridiculous on the surface, but this date in 2004, Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg from his Harvard dorm room. This date, 1789, George Washington was voted the first president of the United States. Bigger societal influence.
Well, I mean, the question becomes, we are now 200, what are we
250
now?
is
250
this year.
years from that. Yeah, I've seen it on the NFL fields.
Yeah.
200.
Easy answer, Brownie. Washington and that election was forming the union, and social media is tearing the union apart.
That's probably right. So here's what I would say is 250 years from now, will anybody even know what Facebook is? But you still talk about George Washington to this day.
What do you think the percentage of people that have never been on Facebook? Like, I've never been on Facebook, and I know everybody here has got a Facebook account, right?
Well, it's not just Facebook. It's what Facebook started.
No, I get that.
It started a movement,
But still, Facebook is still, like, there seemed like there was a dip where Facebook was kind of older. It skewed older.
It's still the biggest audience.
But it does seem like Facebook is back and everybody uses it. I mean, do you guys use it?
I've got an account.
I've got an account.
Yeah.
I mean, I post stuff there.
So then you use it.
Usually it's set up for my Instagram that goes and posts it.
Right. That's the thing. Is if I do it on Instagram, it puts it on Facebook too. So that's pretty much the way
I post
use
on
it.
Instagram and it goes on my Facebook account.
But I would maintain, though, 250 years later, we're still talking about George Washington. Every kid that's going to school knows who George Washington is. In 250 years, people won't know what Facebook is, or Mark Zuckerberg, for that matter.
Or you could say we won't be talking about George Washington in 250 years because of Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that's my point. He's going to erase history.
We're not going to be around in 250 years.
Yeah.
That was my point, yeah. You still talk about Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire doesn't exist.
It would be hard to imagine we're going to be here another 250. Just the projection we're on right now.
Yeah, so I should not go buy 500.com.org. I should go buy that.
I mean, whoever your kinfolk is down the road, I don't think they're going to be able to cash in on it, but who knows?
That is our four downs today, brought to you by our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt. And again, if you, I'll just go ahead and tell you, since I've played some of these chapters out ahead of you, if you have got young kids, eventually they're going to be 16 years old, and you're going to go from a two-car household to a four-car household like that.
Bingo.
You'll want a new parking pad and some other things in the house there. The folks at Central Alabama Asphalt can help you out. When we come back to college football, back to college basketball with a big one in Tuscaloosa tonight, 6 o'clock, with Texas A&M first place taking on Alabama. The show being brought to you by our friends at Central State Bank, Brownie.
That is the bank that is big enough to know you and serve you with all your needs, but they're small enough to have that personal relationship with you. That's what is key with Central State Bank, is that personal relationship. Central State Bank, serving Central Alabama for more than 100 years. And what they've done in that time is be family-owned, community-focused, and built on trust. That's how you stick around for 100 years. They've been serving Shelby County, Tallapoosa County, and all of Central Alabama with local decisions and personal service that feels like home. So whether you're starting a business, buying a car, or planning for tomorrow, Central State Bank is with you every step of the way. Central State Bank, rooted in community, driven by relationships, member FDIC.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Hop in. Injured in an Uber or Lyft? Here's the problem. Was it the driver's fault? The other car? The app company? Good luck figuring that out while you're trying to heal. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys, they've got a guy for rideshare accidents. And here's the best part. They don't get paid unless you do. You heal. They fight. One call, 659-777-7777. Or visit alexwins.law. Alexander Shinar Trial Attorneys. Because rideshare accidents need an experienced team. Physical office is Birmingham.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal made just for you, let our team member Jacob share what's special about Culver's.
In Wisconsin, our food comes from the heart, and taking the time to handcraft your meal with care is how we've always done it at Culver's. It's why your Butterburger doesn't touch the grill until after you order.
Come to Culver's and let us serve you a Butterburger made special just for you. From Wisconsin with love, welcome to Delicious.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it, and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Ball is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Ball is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Before we do the spotlight, Tyler, I do want to point out that we do have an interesting development in basketball. The Bracketology is out, the new one, and we mentioned with Ron Slay, you can get that wherever you get our podcast, both on our YouTube channel, but also on Apple and Spotify for audio and video users there, where the SEC does not have a 1, 2, or 3 seed right now in Bracketology, and I don't think that they will. Maybe
really?
Florida plays their way up to a 3 seed. I don't think anybody else will get anywhere close to a 1 seed when it's all said and done. Maybe Florida can get to a 2 seed.
Florida's 7 in KenPom. They're the one top 10 team in both KenPom and Torvik, if that matters to you.
And I don't know if this Sunday is the Sunday we get the CBS unveil. Probably the Sunday after that, like the Sunday after the Super Bowl, where we see what the selection committee is thinking. But right now, Vandy and Florida on the 4 line, Tennessee on the 5 line, and Alabama and Auburn in between there. Go ahead.
So what do you think Florida, like their ceiling is right now?
I think 2 is the highest they could go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think it's going to be difficult just because of what's in front of them. Like, I mean, teams like, Arizona and UConn and Gonzaga aren't going to lose a lot of basketball games. And, that's not including really good teams like, Iowa State and Michigan that play in really difficult conferences. Now, with that said, Arizona still plays in the same conference as Iowa State. Boy, that Big 12 is good.
It really is. Auburn's a 7 seed right now. Alabama's on the same line as Tennessee. They're a 5 seed, which would put Alabama in the tricky 5-12 game. Right now, projected SF Austin, Stephen F. Austin, as a 12 seed. Auburn right now would get Indiana, according to Bracketology. Wait for it. Both of them in Portland.
Oh, gosh.
When they both were in Spokane, it did not go well for Auburn. It went great for Alabama, who just stayed out west and worked their way to the Final Four. That's where it's trending right now in Bracketology. It's out with Joe Lunardi. Let's do the college football spotlight. Hit it, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight.
The Shannara Spotlight is presented by our guy, Alexander Shannara, Trial Attorneys. You know by now he handles personal injury cases. That's well established. Did you know he handles much more than that, though? Storm damage cases, fire damage cases, workers' compensation cases, employment cases. The list goes on and on and on. That's why we tell you, when you're in need of an attorney for any reason, your first stop is Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Shannara.com. Shannara.com. They've recovered more than $2 billion for their clients. Let them work for you as well. Shannara.com.
What's your boy thinking, Lincoln Riley? What's your boy thinking, LT? He's on the Cowherd show. Cowherd asked Lincoln Riley, man, what is your favorite part about NIL? Quote, I think the parody. It's stories that wouldn't have happened before that are happening now. There's not just one part of the country paying players.
I mean, look, this is a guy that coached in the old Big 12 at Oklahoma. A lot of people thought he was maybe afraid of the SEC is why he bolted out west. Like, I think certain schools have always cheated, but I mean, when it comes to the SEC, just because they were so dominant, the assumption was they were cheating more often than everyone else.
First of all, I think that's false, more than anybody else. He is speaking from the football complex at the University of Southern California.
Were they ever embroiled in any sort of controversy?
A little bit.
You think they ever paid a player ever?
I mean, you had one Heisman was gone because you decapitated a couple of people, and another was gone because you bought him a house and a couple of suits.
So two very different things.
Do I expect that the great Ohio State, the great USC running backs are staying in Southern California for the sunshine?
No, look, I agree. There were pockets, Notre Dame, Michigan, Ohio State, USC, but I mean, look, this was. When you wanted a gunfight in the Old West, you came to the SEC, right?
I mean, Lincoln Riley, how he said that with a straight face.
From the USC football complex.
From the USC football complex, having coached at Oklahoma and anywhere else, to think that only those in the Southern footprint maybe were paying players and nobody else was paying players. Come on. Come on.
It
Lincoln
would sound
Riley.
different if Andrew Luck was talking about Stanford.
Okay, I'll grant you that, yes. Yeah, the USC coach, having coached where he's coached, saying it is absurd.
So you're telling me that Jim Harbaugh at Stanford could turn Stanford into something good like he did as quickly as he did.
Yeah, but he wasn't cheating at the level that Alabama and Auburn were.
Not even close. But he was.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been in the rules.
Okay.
But admission's much different at Stanford. I mean, what Harbaugh and Shaw were able to do was pretty amazing back then.
It is, but based on the way that Harbaugh operated at Michigan, I don't think he just started doing it at Michigan. I think he was probably doing it at Stanford too.
Look, I will say this. Lincoln Riley needs to really focus on winning games now instead of,
Everybody's able
comments.
Everybody's able to do it, and it's a great thing because I think it's created a much more level playing field, and it's given schools the opportunity to really compete if they want to invest.
I would. One of the funniest things back before NIL, back when recruiting was a big deal. Am I right that National Signing Day was yesterday? By the way, I think it was.
It was.
I thought about that yesterday. I got an alert on some National Signing Day thing, and I was like, man, do you remember how big a day that used to be? And I didn't even know it was yesterday.
Like Alabama picked up a late addition, and Amari Saab, Keon's little brother, 3-star athlete from New Jersey, 5'9". Derek Nix recruited him, late ad from Auburn as the coach there, and he was his recruiting coordinator. Expect to see him in the receiver room, possibly.
Yeah. But back when recruiting was a big deal, back when recruiting was the end-all, be-all for college athletics, I used to always laugh at the fans that would talk about how all their rivals are cheating. They're cheating, they're cheating, they're cheating, they're cheating. And I'm like, well, where's your team ranked in recruiting? 5th? So you're not cheating. They're just choosing to go because your coach or your campus or your facilities are that much better than everybody else. You really think you're recruiting in the top 5 and all other the 4 teams are cheating and you're doing it the right way? I mean, that is the most naive thinking ever.
And maybe I'm very naive on this. I think there was a minute in college basketball where a guy like Mike Krzyzewski didn't have to cheat because you knew if you went to Duke, you had the opportunity to win the national championship and you were going to get drafted.
Yeah.
Much like Saban in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I mean, look, the numbers were different when you talk about 85 to, 13.
But I mean, John Wooden used to cheat. Let's don't. I mean, he had a bag man.
Yes, well documented.
Well documented bag man, and John Wooden's the most respected guy to ever do it. I don't believe that Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski, as respected as they are, operated without cheating.
Well, I mean, if
in recruiting,
I mean, how good could Harvard be at football? They've got the largest endowment.
If they cared, really good.
I mean, they've got $52 billion in endowment.
They are, but here's what's standing in the way of Harvard is they don't care enough to spend that money on football.
No, I get it.
Well, at one point you couldn't do it because they were private. You could privately, but public schools couldn't use it for athletics until the House settlement.
That's right.
That's the only thing that's saving Florida State now, is that they reported a $437 million athletic related debt now. A lot of that is, rev bonds with the renovations of the football buildings and Doak Campbell, but they're able to tap in. The biggest tap into university funds in the history of Florida State was $1.6 million. This year, they're giving him $33.1 million from the actual Florida State coffers to athletics to help pay the bill.
You wonder when that's going to start happening, because just looking at the endowments greater than $1 billion, in your top 10, you've got some football schools. I mean, you've got Stanford, say a football school, at number 3. You've got Notre Dame at number 7. Northwestern at number 9.
Notre Dame, I picked to be national champs this upcoming year. They're my LSU this year.
They've got almost $18 billion in endowment. I mean, if you just took $50 million of that.
Yeah.
And I think that is important to Notre Dame.
Oh, I agree. But, I mean, it's going to be, if you got money, you can be just as good at football as you really want to be. It's how important it is to you. I mean, the Rutgers thing's crazy. I mean, Rutgers has been operating at this massive deficit. They're $500 million in the hole in athletics in the Big Ten.
Yeah, they lost $78 million this year.
Yeah.
Texas and Oklahoma lost money in the SEC this year athletically because they were not getting the full payment yet for joining the Southeastern Conference. One more thing to get to before we get to the top of the hour, brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus Sleep Home Alabama.
Yeah, very important. You're getting that 8+ hours of sleep every single night. If you're not getting it, not good for the health. Reach out to our guys, the O'Neill brothers, Joe and Woody, fantastic guys. They've got 5 locations of O'Neill Medical and CPAP Plus throughout the state of Alabama. 3 right here in Birmingham, Pelham, Highway 280 in Trussville. Hundreds of 5-star Google reviews. Trust CPAP Plus for all of your CPAP needs. CPAP Plus, every night matters. If you're looking for the best CPAP gear with personal service you can trust, visit one of those 3 locations in Birmingham, 5 locations throughout the state. For more information, o'neillmed.com. That is ONEAL med.com.
And if you're looking for a fun place to watch the big game this weekend, it's our friends at Walk-Ons. It's always game on at Walk-Ons. And every day can be game day, whether it's a post-win celebration, drinks after work, or taking the family for some made-from-scratch favorites. Walk-Ons, your go-to for good times and wall-to-wall TVs, craft beer and cocktails, bold flavors for fans of all ages. From melty mozzarella logs to Hall of Fame level burgers, stop by today or order online in the Walk-Ons app. Walk-On Sports Bistro, Trussville, Greystone Stadium Trace. It is game on at Walk-Ons. Of course, we've got a rematch coming up in the Super Bowl this weekend. But not back-to-back rematch, but it's happened. This will be the 10th time that we have 2 teams meeting for the second time in the Super Bowl. And historically, there have been some dominating moments for some of these teams. Dallas and Pittsburgh met 3 times, I think, in the Super Bowl. Have the Rams have any repeat?
Yeah, so they've met the Patriots twice. I thought that they were going to see them a 3rd time this year.
Right. Trying to think of other ones that we've had. Cowboys, Bills, they went back-to-back, didn't they?
Yeah, they played 2 Super Bowls, one in the Rose Bowl, as I remember it, one in the Georgia Dome, and the Rose Bowl was a complete blowout. That was Leon Lett game, but that was a blowout by then. And the one at the Georgia Dome, I remember the Bills led that game at the half, I believe, and then Dallas dominated the second half.
The Giants and the Patriots.
Yeah.
Giants and the Patriots.
I think that's 3 times.
At least twice. That's when Eli both won both of his trophies, right?
Yeah, maybe it was just twice.
Yeah.
So they had the David Tyree game, and I don't remember.
They had the other back and forth one.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good games.
Yeah, you don't always enjoy when they're back to back. To me, like Cowboys Bills back to back were. Well, I remember the second one. I was like, oh.
Well, it did seem like growing up when I first got into the NFL, it was Pittsburgh and Dallas, and like when you would order that electronic vibrating football game that
I love, yes,
that was so much fun. I mean, the go-tos were Pittsburgh and Dallas. Now you
true,
could
right,
order
right,
the
right.
other teams.
Yeah. Oh, those are the teams that came with it.
Those were 2 teams that came with it. Yeah. Now I did after Super Bowl 14. The next year I was able to order it, and it did have Pittsburgh and the Rams.
You know, it's funny to me that Orlovsky did not realize. Dan played in the NFL and is one of the best analysts, if not the best, in the game right now. Did not realize how much the NFC dominated the Super Bowl when we were growing up.
Yeah, winning 14 of 15 in that stretch.
We're older
really?
than
He didn't know that?
He didn't know it. He was like, really? That was his reaction. He goes, I wonder why. Why? What evened it up? He goes, was it free agency? I said, I don't know. But, I made the point to him, like, you can't point at quarterback because the AFC in that time had Marino, Jim Kelly, John Elway, Warren Moon. I mean, the AFC had great quarterbacks.
But that's what's crazy right now is the AFC still has dominant Hall of Fame quarterbacks, but the NFC is so much better.
They are, but not to the level they were in the 80s.
No.
I mean, in the 80s, it was a bad imbalance.
If there is a blowout this weekend, it's going to be Seattle blowing out.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. I don't want to see a blowout. Obviously, want to see a close game.
Yeah,
but
and
you're right.
if Stidham doesn't completely shit the bed in the AFC Championship game,
it would be a complete beatdown.
Yeah, it didn't matter if it was Rams or Seahawks. They were going to win that game by 21 plus.
Be thankful that the Patriots won, because if we were seeing backup quarterback Jarrett Stidham in a Super Bowl, that would not have been pretty.
Here's the star breakdown, recruiting-wise, from college stars, 5-star, 4-star, 3 stars, 2 stars, for the 2 NFL teams coming up this weekend. As you would imagine, there are some 5 stars that make it to the Super Bowl, but not as many as you would think. Seahawks have 3 5-stars. The Patriots have 4 5-stars. 13 4-stars for the Seahawks, 15 for the Patriots. Look where your sweet spot is on these teams. 19 3-stars for the Seahawks, 22 3-star college athletes for the New England Patriots.
This doesn't surprise me. I mean, I think we've seen this year in, year out. Maybe a little different last year with the Eagles. But, a lot of times these are guys that develop. I mean, when you look at rosters, you look at the universities a lot of these guys play for. I mean, it's pretty wild to think, where these guys were as 18 and 19-year-olds to where they are right now.
That you get people from Delaware and Northern Illinois, Southern Illinois, those type places.
Yeah,
and that's where you get, like the Seattle Seahawks have 14 players that was unranked, no stars.
Yeah,
9 for the Patriots.
Just giving you Seattle, Eastern Washington, Weber State, Lenoir-Rhyne, Drake, North Dakota State, and I'm just jumping around. UTEP, Montana.
That's what's always been said is the NFL will find you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, I do wonder about a guy like Trinidad Chambliss, if the NFL ever would have found him at what was that joint he played at up in Michigan? Ferris State. You do wonder if he would have been found at Ferris State.
But no, I think transfer portal has done a lot
there's
for,
no doubt.
This is kind of the YouTube version, what it's done for musicians.
Yeah.
Like it or hate it.
Yeah.
But just think of that. When you watch your team get 3 stars and it doesn't move the needle, 41 players in this weekend's Super Bowl with 3 stars. And then you've got 23 of them that were unranked. So more than the one NFL roster. Over half the players in this Super Bowl this weekend were 3 stars, 2 stars, or unranked.
But unranked, you've got 3 times as many 5 stars.
Yeah.
That's
insanity?
It is insanity. Who was the great Patriot that went to Sheldon State? Was it Woodhead or Edelman?
Danny Woodhead.
Was it Woodhead?
Yeah, Edelman was a MAC guy.
Yeah.
I thought he was Texas Tech.
No,
that was
Wes Welker.
That was Welker. Yeah,
Welker was
another
Texas
white
Tech.
Patriot receiver,
white slot guy,
possession receiver for the Patriots.
Jim Rad.
Motor
guy.
Yeah. You can't keep him out of the film.
I still I don't think you can differentiate these Patriot teams. They look the same.
Yep. Super Bowl this weekend. Looking forward to that, and of course you can play it a lot of different ways. You can have fun with Kalshi over there with the Super Bowl. It's a whole lot of fun. It is the top of the hour now. 1 more hour to go. We'll get back to Bama playing host to Texas A&M, first place in the SEC, Texas A&M. That happening tonight with Bucky McMillan, Bucky Ball coming in to take on Nate Oates and company. And a little more college football brought to you today by our friends at A+. Brownie, tell us about A+.
Our guy Brad Bell. When it came time to redo the master bath in the Brown house, my wife Jennifer scoured the internet looking for the right person for the job. Brad Bell was the name that kept coming back to her time and time again. So we got Brad out to look at our job. Boy, I'm glad we did. He did tremendous work for us. And was just fantastic in every aspect. I'll tell you what Brad specializes in. Now, I'm not telling you this is all he does, but he does specialize in it. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. You say, why is that important? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, you spend a lot of time in those rooms. When you own your home, you want them to look the best they can, be as functional as they can, be as nice as they can. But when you go sell your home, you can also make a lot of money back on those rooms. So consider those rooms or anything else in your home, and consider Brad when you look at those rooms. All right, here's this number, 205-422-1758. That is 205-422-1758. Or you can see more online See some before and afters and how to get in touch with Brad. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. AlabamaBathRemodels.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
We interrupt this program for breaking news. From the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Bowl is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
You'll hear all the time all the great work Brooks does back with our social media. He's got a new graphic that's out, 82 court cases and counting for the NCAA. Brown's got some information on some new ones. or some old ones?
Well, the current ones. Let's go with that. Let's start with Charles Bediako. There are three to quickly update you on. Mike Rodak, who covers the Alabama Crimson Tide for 24/7 Sports, Bama 247, reports that Charles Bediako's attorneys today filed a motion in Tuscaloosa County Court requesting his preliminary injunction hearing, scheduled for Friday, be postponed until next week. So another delay. It was initially delayed because of snow. The NCAA attorney couldn't make it down. And now Bediako's side is requesting a delay because they have sent some discovery questions from the NCAA. They say they would like answered before the injunction hearing, and apparently have not gotten those answers. You also wonder if this is the Four Corners offense for Bediako's side, right? If you get enough delays, this thing just gets pushed out.
Why would you not?
Yeah, it just gets pushed out, and it really doesn't matter how it goes on Bediako's part at that point. On the Aguilar case, so those that don't know, Joey Aguilar got a TRO from a Knoxville judge, a Tennessee judge. The NCAA has released a statement saying he filed this in federal court. They're insinuating, they're not saying this point blank, but insinuating in the statement, this was filed in federal court. They didn't like the direction it was going there, so they've withdrawn it from federal court with the same exact set of facts and have now filed it in a Tennessee state court. That's why they're getting a TRO. And basically, NCAA is saying what Tom Mars has said, where Tom Mars has been critical of the NCAA, saying if you would just go incorporate, you wouldn't have to fight all these state courts. You could fight all this in one federal court. And the NCAA is like, we can't fight all these things in all these state courts. We can't be expected to do this. And they have just, they've gone to federal court. They didn't like the direction that was going, so they've refiled in state court to get a more favorable judge, is what the NCAA basically is claiming. And then in the Trinidad Chambliss case, the NCAA in their filing says exactly what we were just talking about. Pete Thamel points this out. Here's the NCAA's quote in their filing in the Trinidad Chambliss case. Collegiate sports will become ungovernable if eligibility determinations are instead the result of individual court decisions. In other words, if you're letting the courts decide who's eligible and not, we can't govern college athletics.
I think that's fair.
No, I think it's true. I think we were talking about it earlier in the show, and now the NCAA has said it in a court filing in the Chambliss case. So those are your three biggest cases going on right now. I will say it's interesting, the Bediako delay, Friday was being painted as a big day for the NCAA because that's the same day they will hear the injunction case in the Aguilar case. And it was supposed to be the same day for the Bediako. So you would have had two very prominent eligibility cases with injunction hearings on the same day for the NCAA. So that was shaping up to be a big day for them, not quite as big now with the Bediako delay.
Texas A&M and Alabama actually on the court tonight. This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the guys down there, and the ladies as well. Wonderful fried chicken that is cooked overnight, brined overnight, cooked to order when you go in and see Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken in Sterling there. So it comes out piping hot, doesn't drop that chicken until you order it. Hand-cut chicken fingers are delicious. The in-house made sides with some of the best baked beans that you will ever taste. The Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and so much more. Highway 119 in Alabaster for over a decade, same location. Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com. And our friends at Hemp Hill LT, where next week it'll be in the 70s again.
Yeah.
Never too early to check the air conditioner.
Oh, wow, yeah. You need to make sure whether it's your heat or your cooling, they're ready to keep up with the changing weather. Our friends at Hemp Hill, they are there for you. Look, plumbing issues can come up in any minute. You hate it when it does, but you love somebody that is on standby, somebody that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Nate Oates gets asked if this could be a tipping point on how the season goes tonight against Texas A&M.
Do you feel this is maybe a tipping point in either direction, that you can either right the ship or it can get worse? Like, I guess, how do you view this moment?
Yeah, I think it's huge. And we're 4-4. We haven't played great. I mean, we've had some injuries, but that's part of sports. So we've had enough talent on the floor in each one of those 4 losses that we should have won. And we had a chance to win and didn't make tough enough plays when we needed to make them. So, yeah, it's getting close to a tipping point. And we're either going to start playing better and going on a run here, or we're going to continue to play 500 basketball, and that's not what anybody came here to do.
Again, I just think win or lose, and if Alabama gives their best effort, they're going to win this game. They're a better team than Texas A&M. The point spread is 7.5. It's indicative of that. I will just be shocked after that type of performance if you don't see an elevated performance from Alabama basketball. Not just shocked. I will be extremely concerned about Alabama's prospects for the remainder of this season.
Well, that's usually what happens. If they have a horrible defensive game and a horrible effort game, it is much different the very next game.
I mean, this is, call to action. I mean, they were embarrassed. You brought up the fact 72-26 outscored in the paint. You just don't see this. I mean, they got pushed around. They got completely dominated. There is at no point in time, it's a long season, but Alabama should never lose a game by 23. They should never be down by 27. And, if you don't get by A&M, and look, I agree with you guys. I think Alabama's the better team. They're at home. They should win this game. But if they don't, then you know what's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
The game at Auburn, obviously you're going to be an underdog. And then, going to Oxford is not an easy task. And that is a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. I mean, there's really the only break for Alabama is you get to play South Carolina and LSU. I mean, those are bad basketball teams. You've already played Oklahoma, and you barely won that one. That's a bad basketball team.
So 10 more games left on this schedule. What do you guys think Alabama goes in this 10-game stretch?
7-3.
That would put you in really good shape then. What's that, 11-7? You finish 11-7? I mean, if you finish 11-7 in the SEC, you're in a good spot there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I think 6-4. 6-4 is not going to be great, though, is it?
Yeah, I mean, at Auburn, Lance, at Ole Miss.
Well, let's just go games they're going to be favored.
All right.
They're favored against A&M.
Yep.
Dog against Auburn. Favored against Ole Miss.
Yep.
Favored against South Carolina.
Yep.
Favored at home against Arkansas. Favored on the road against LSU.
A lot of favorites right there.
Favored against Tennessee. Mississippi State. Dog against Tennessee. Dog against Georgia. So they're only dogs 3 times. So back to your 7-3.
Yeah, just win the games you're supposed to win, right? That's always that easy.
Now tonight is Bucky McMillan's return to the state of Alabama again. Won at Auburn earlier this year, but he grew up in an Alabama household. It is Nate Oates, perceived to be a future NBA coach at some point, plays an NBA style that is spreading throughout college basketball, some of that off of Nate's success. The way he plays at Alabama, the way it has helped him in recruiting by playing that system. You see a lot of that in college basketball now, spreading around the SEC. Bucky McMillan with Bucky Ball, sort of a little flavor off of 40 Minutes of Hell and Nolan Richardson back in the 90s, is labeled as a basketball savant by some. He gets asked about, does he like being labeled as a brilliant mind of college basketball?
I've read people say since we found out you were being hired here, that Bucky McMillan is a basketball savant. When you hear that, I mean, you react saying, well, damn right I am, or, what's your reaction when you hear things like that?
When we're winning, great. When we're losing, I mean, I've heard basketball idiot too. So, I mean, it's just kind of how you're doing, right? When you're hot, you're hot. When you're cold, you're cold. I think that probably comes from a little bit that my career as a coach until Texas A&M was always in Alabama. So as a player, it was always in Alabama. I grew up there, went to school in Alabama, coached high school in Alabama, then coached college in Alabama, right in the kind of the same area. And we played a little bit different. And we were playing how we play well before anyone was even really playing fast, right? Shooting a lot of threes, playing fast. So we were winning doing that when it was really, really different back then. And so I think that's whenever you do something different and you have success, you know how it is. I mean, first time someone lined up and shotgun, if they won the game, people say, man, they're geniuses, right? We're not the only team in shotgun right now, but, hopefully we can keep winning.
Yeah, I think there was a time now, a lot of our listeners and a lot of our audience members, especially those outside of Alabama, aren't going to be ultimately familiar with this name. There was a time in this state for a minute where you could argue Dwayne Rebold was the best college basketball coach in this state.
At Birmingham Southern.
At Birmingham Southern, which was...
Oh, I think that was... I mean, in that sweet spot of time, I think that was definitely in play.
Which is who Bucky played for at Birmingham Southern and respects him so much that he was part of Bucky's staff at Samford. And I don't know if he's with him in College Station. I don't think Coach Rebo moved out there because he's a Birmingham guy, but I'm sure he and Bucky communicate a lot. So, I mean, he came from a really, really good, very smart basketball coach in Dwayne Rebo. That's who he played for at Birmingham Southern. But he's right. I've got some insight into this, not a ton, but when he was the coach at Mountain Brook, we were still doing over at 3340 when I was working for them some games on TV, and I did a lot of their games. They were playing a style nobody else was playing. Nobody was doing that, and it was a headache for everybody to face. It's almost like, the old school, you face the triple option once a year, and it was hard to prepare for. His style was hard to prepare for. And now, to his point, a lot of people are doing it, but that's kind of why he gets that label around here, is because he was really the first one to do it.
Well, look, they force a ton of turnovers with that press, and they hit a ton of threes. There's only one team that hits more threes per game in the SEC.
Oh, in the SEC.
Yeah.
I was going to tell you St. Louis nationally.
Let me see where St. Louis is.
So you had this written down. I thought you had watched St. Louis down the way.
St. Louis is 9th.
They're on a win streak right now where they've hit 60 of their last 119 threes.
They are
St.
9th.
Louis has?
Yeah, 60 of 119.
So they're just over 50% in their last
9th nationally in 3 points made per game. There's one team, Texas A&M is 6th nationally at 11.5 threes made per game. Who do you think the number one team in the SEC threes made per game?
I mean, it's normally close to Alabama. I'm going to go Alabama.
No. Actually, I think, is Auburn shooting better? Well, they're not shooting better.
No, they're not.
Hold on.
It's definitely not Auburn.
It's not Florida. I'm going to go off the board and say it is either Vandy or Arkansas.
Vanderbilt is number 3, 38th nationally at 10 threes per game. It is actually Alabama.
Wow.
They are second nationally behind only Cornell. Cornell hits 14 threes a game.
Wow.
Alabama's
so
hitting 12 and a half.
wise.
No, this is just threes made per game.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a volume game for Alabama. I mean, they're going to shoot more threes than anybody in the conference, I would imagine.
Yeah, and just back to, because I am interested in seeing this now that Dunaway did randomly throw out the Billikens. Let's just see. And you were thinking 3%, right?
They've hit 60 of their last 119, which is unbelievable.
St. Louis is 5th in 3-point percentage.
Yeah.
Cornell's 4th, making all those damn threes. They make 40% of their threes.
Currently, Texas A&M on the 7 line in the latest Lenardi bracketology. St. Louis, the Billikens, also 7th in their 7 seed as well.
They shoot a 3
Is
like
Cornell
that.
the projected team from the Ivy?
They've got to be if they're making that many threes, I would imagine.
That would be a 16 usually.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. It could be Yale.
I don't think they fall into 15-16.
Can I? Where do you think an 11-7 conference record Alabama is? Do you think that they're right where they are right now? Because they're at 4-4.
Yeah.
They've got them as a 5
probably.
at 11-7. Might be marginally better even at 11-7. That's a good strong finish. I mean, if they're 4-4, which is where they are right now, what'd you say they're a 5 seed? Alabama is at
5 right now
game?
currently.
I mean, that's with a 500 record in the SEC.
Harvard
is your Ivy League. I would think an 11-7 record might even get Alabama in consideration for the 4 line. I don't know. I know a lot of attention gets paid to those 5-12 upsets. So I guess there's a difference in being a 5 and a 4. You'd rather be the 4, but still, I would think 11-7 would get you probably some conversation for the 4.
Yeah, Cornell's 10-10 overall.
Wow.
I think Yale will end up being the team.
Cornell, they must play no defense if they're hitting all those threes.
Back to football we go, brought to you by our friends at Crane U. LT, tell us how you can look into changing your career in 2026.
Yeah, and if you're currently a crane operator, you've got a company that is involved with this, you need to reach out to our friends at Crane U because they offer some pretty incredible stuff right now. On-site training is available. They want to make that work site safer. They want to make your job easier, get the crane training you need today. If you're looking for that new career, need further training to advance your current one, our friends at Crane U offer the comprehensive state-of-the-art, fully stocked training facilities for mobile cranes, overhead lifts, or forklift training. If you want to use your own equipment, the team at Crane U will come to you. On-site, on-location training offered nationwide. Again, make the job easier, the job site safer. Crane U also offers the certification and safety inspections to ensure the safest environment possible. Classes available monthly, so call or visit our friends at Crane U. Very important important. Mention the next round. 855-CRANE-U, 10% off. All the great services. For more information, craneu.com.
Okay, why is everybody upset with the college football calendar? Lane Kiffin says this: the new numbers for the next two playoffs released yesterday, and we knew because of the oddity of the way the calendar falls. In fact, we won't have two byes for the next couple of years because of the number of Saturdays, just the rotation of calendars. We're playing deeper into January. Lane Kiffin says this after seeing the release yesterday: somehow the calendar got even worse on purpose. Kids play until January 25th and have almost a month between games. Josh Pate made a point. November 11th on the calendar, the actual calendar, November 11th will be the halfway point of the college football season. That's almost the end of the regular season.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost over there.
But by the time you get to the January 25th national championship game, November 11th is the actual calendar middle of the day. Here's the release yesterday. Next 2 years, you get the quarterfinals on December the 30th next year. You get the semifinals on January 14th and the 15th, and then the national championships on the 25th. Now, I'm sorry, but January 1st is when you play the quarterfinals. That's 2 weeks until the semis. And then it's basically 10 days again to the national championship. This doesn't upset me that much.
Well, it's an additional bye. I mean, that's the same as having a bye, 2 weeks, right? It does seem a little bit strange. I'm not upset by it at all, but it does seem a little bit strange that it is 2 weeks.
As opposed to 10 or 11 days, but that's just because of the way the calendar falls.
Yeah, so December 30th,
So that'd be a fun week to spend in Vegas because on the 25th, you got national championship. On the 31st, the AFC-NFC championship games.
Now, people are upset December 30th is a Wednesday night, Brownie. You're telling me people were playing on a Wednesday.
Well, you had to because you don't want to go to the NFL who's playing that Thursday night.
Yeah, it's a Thursday night Amazon stream game, though. Like, at some point, you've got to pull the Band-Aid and say, I mean, they go head-to-head with 2 games on the Saturday of the first round. So why not? If you're going to go head-to-head with one, I want it to be that Amazon Prime.
I think the Amazon Prime would still outdraw
that Amazon
numbers-wise.
Prime, I don't know what it gets, Lance. I think it gets 11 to 12 million viewers.
But you got to think that
it averaged 18 million.
Oh, did it average 18?
And people are getting more comfortable with the streaming, so that number's going to do nothing but go up.
And Herb Street has to do a lot of work if he's got to do that game.
Wow.
Something the next day. Or he's going to have to do that either way, I guess, really. So that people were upset about that. Like, why aren't we playing a Wednesday night, then taking a break, and then playing a Friday on New Year's Day?
Yeah, January 1st, traditional day there. And then the following year, December 31st, January 1st, and then you're off to the 13th or 14th, and then you play on January 24th. Basically the same, because you're hitting markers on the calendar opposite of what the NFL are doing, and that's why it's laid out that way. This isn't that crazy different from what we did this year, except the championship game is 1 week later than it was this year, and that's because of how the calendar falls. And I think we hit Labor Day. Is it Labor Day's later this year than it usually is?
Labor Day is a Tuesday. Is a Monday the 7th. Monday the 7th. Yeah, it's as late as it can be.
Late as it can be.
I think when we roll into this, I think we're going to be excited about it. I really do, because you think about, we talked about what was the week we had recently where you had everything line up and it was football Thursday through Monday.
Yeah,
I mean, you're getting it Wednesday through Monday.
Yeah, you're going to have Wednesday the 30th is going to be a college football playoff game. Thursday the 31st is going to be the last Amazon Prime game. New Year's Day is a Friday night where you'll get, or Friday, it's all day Friday, where you'll get all the games on New Year's Day. Saturday the 2nd, you'll get NFL games. Sunday the 3rd, you'll get NFL games. Then the playoffs will start the next weekend, and then you'll be back to the college football playoffs on the 14th. So, I mean, that is going to be a spectacular run if you like both ends of the sport. If you like the NFL and college, that's going to be a fun run there.
I'm okay with this, and I'll go back to just play on the field. And great minds like Josh Pate, Lane Kiffin, and others that I've seen really reacting to this, I like factoring in a little recovery time for the teams. I'm okay with having 2 weeks off between games. I want my teams that have just played in the quarterfinals to be as close to 100% as they can be when they play in the semifinals. and then 10 or 11 days before they play in the national championship. I don't want a tweaked ankle or an injured, bruised thumb on a quarterback to impact my next game. Give me 2 weeks to get as healthy as I possibly can in 2 weeks, as rested as I possibly can, as schemed up as I possibly can as we play the best of the best.
Because the other option there, Jim, is if you play on New Year's Day, the 1st, one of those quarterfinal games would be on the 7th, so you would have somebody playing on a short week. And so you're either going to have an additional bye or you're going to ask somebody to play a short week semifinal game. Given the choice, I'd rather have a bye before a semifinal than asking somebody to play on a short week.
And trying to cram all this in and end it on January 1st, I've said it 6 times now, I'll say it a 7th time. I don't want to wake up on a New Year's Day with just one football game, the national championship
That
game.
would feel really hollow.
Yeah.
Just based on the decades and decades we've been watching all of the pageantry and all of the great New Year's Day games.
I like waking up with no group of fives playing, and I got 3 really good bowl games laid out on New Year's Day in each time window, and that's the quarterfinals of the playoffs, having come off of a great Friday night game. Like this year, it was Miami of Ohio State over Ohio State. What a great Friday night game, or New Year's Eve. I keep saying Friday night. What a great New Year's Eve game it was. And then on January 1st, which feels like a Saturday. You can say what you want about us playing it on a Tuesday or football belongs on a Saturday. January 1st belongs to college football. It feels like a Saturday.
Do you? Yeah, I
and
agree.
when it falls on a Sunday, we play those games on January the 2nd. We've always done that. We've always moved out of the way for the NFL, even back when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, that's been longstanding. You only have to do that every, however it works on the calendar. Do you feel like, I think in our society as a whole, there are certain things that, like, if so many people bitch about it, I feel like I got to bitch about it too. I kind of think that's where we are with this discussion. Like, I think there's a certain number of people that have decided they're going to be upset about this, and everybody's like, oh, I guess this is the thing we're upset about is the college football calendar, so I'm going to start complaining about that too.
And that's why I'm doing just the opposite. I get more clicks by liking the calendar. No, I'm the one guy who likes the college football calendar. I don't think the calendar's broken. Stop saying it. I'm going to get a T-shirt that says, I love the college football calendar.
But, I mean, what are we complaining about? We're complaining about more days of college football. Is that what we're complaining about?
We're complaining about the gap. Losing momentum is something I see, that you lose a little bit of the momentum between quarterfinals.
Oh, no.
People said it this past year. I didn't think we did.
They were incorrect if they said it.
Well, I mean, the portal window is jacked up.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
But just as far as
I mean,
what
that's
Jim's
part of the
talking,
calendar,
just
though.
as far as what Jim's talking about here, though, remind me. Well, first of all, Indiana was going to beat Oregon that way if they played 7 days after their last game or 70 days after the last game. Indiana was going to run Oregon out of the stadium. We lost no momentum in Ole Miss and Miami. That was a spectacular game.
Yeah,
and then we lost no momentum in Miami and Indiana. Also a spectacular game. Where did we lose the momentum?
Yeah, no buys would be fine to get rid of that 1-7 that we've got in 2 years now with the bye teams. Only Indiana beating Alabama.
Yeah, that's got to be fixed.
Yeah, 16 teams, no buys, and then everybody's on the same playing field at that point. If it's 2 weeks off, if it's 11 days off, everybody's got 2 weeks off, 11 days off. And I do put some value in that time off on players being able to get healthy, of players being able to, wait for it, go to their virtual class and check in with a teacher before another semester starts.
Not worried about that, but we will get 2 rounds of on-campus games at that point.
Yeah, if we ever
we
go
should.
to that. Yeah, Big Ten and the SEC can't agree on that. One more thing to get to in this segment after LT tells you about our friends at Woodhouse.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, look, Valentine's only 10 days away. You're looking for that great gift. Don't overthink it. The Woodhouse Day Spa, America's Best Day Spa, voted since 2009. You can get the gifts right there. You can get them 24/7 online. You can go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com or just head into the Summit Shopping Centers. Go see Stuart and that great staff. Tell them the next round sent you. Choose from a menu of over 70 options with the waxing, the massages, the skincare, the nail services, all right there at your fingertips. Again, for more information, to order the gift card 24/7 online. They'll deliver it right to you or deliver it wherever you want to go. birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Hey, Bojangles wants to remind you those heart-shaped Bowberry biscuits are back, and they are back for a good cause right there at Bojangles. Not only do you enjoy a great breakfast on the way to work or school, but you're also helping a great cause. Because 10% of all sales from these heart-shaped Bo-Berry biscuits are going to go to the Hardest Yard, the Greg Olson Foundation, and the Bojangles Foundation. These are contributions that are going to support heart care services and research in the communities Bojangles serves. That's now through February 22nd. Make it bow time with a heart-shaped Bo-Berry biscuit on your way to work with our friends at Bojangles, where it's always bow time. Just another viewpoint for those that are like, let's end this thing on New Year's Day. Do you know this season, if you want to end this thing on New Year's Day, do you know when your semifinals are?
Christmas Eve.
One's Christmas Day and one's the 26th.
Yeah, you can't play Christmas Day. The NFL owns that now.
So what are you going to do? You're going to play on a short week, or you're going to play? And by the way, they got games on that Saturday too, and people are going to be bitching, why are we playing college football important games on a Christmas Day? I mean, you're always going to have something to complain about in this calendar.
The tender moment of the day that we just told you about Bojangles is Lindsey Vaughn, who is about the opening ceremonies are Friday, but we're doing some preliminary events starting today over in Milan. Lindsey Vaughn ruptured an ACL last week in the final tune-up on the World Downhill Skiing Cup, and she ruptured her ACL. Basically, she's going to try to ski in the Olympics without an ACL.
I can't imagine how painful.
She's going to grit the pain out and see what she can do.
I don't know. Have you guys ever been snow skiing, either one of you?
Yes.
I used to snow ski a little bit way back in the day, and I was young then, and my knees hurt just from doing it. I can't imagine.
Where did you ski?
I've skied at Mentone. I would not recommend. I've skied in North Carolina. I've skied in Colorado.
I'm not a big fan.
I love it. I just hadn't done it.
Yeah, a lot of
forever.
people do. It's just a lot of work, man.
It is.
I'm like, I think Clay said yesterday he'd rather sit at the lodge and have
hard.
a couple of cocktails. I'd rather do that.
It's really hard to get to the places where you can ski, but I very much enjoy it when I do it. My only point was I was in my 20s and my knees hurt afterwards.
Well, back to the torn ACL. I mean, that's one of the things. The older you get, I'll never forget Dick Broadcasting. You know, the Alan Dick who owned Jocks and 4 other properties back in the early to late 90s would take the Super Cellar trip out there, and every year, it never failed, 1 or 2 people would tear an ACL.
Oh, yeah.
So pull up what an ACL does.
Okay.
I mean, isn't it structurally supporting your knee? Isn't that a big part of what it does? It allows your knee to do knee things?
That is a big part of it.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be fascinating? Let's say that she goes out. I mean, she needs her knees in this.
Yeah, watching these skiers come downhill, it seems like the knees are pretty important.
The key functions of the ACL, according to AI, Jim, are stabilizing the knee.
Yeah, pretty important.
Controlling rotation, preventing hyperextension, and proprioception. Proprioception.
Rashiki.
Yeah.
But are you not, if she goes out and she meddles, which she probably won't, this will probably end up being a disaster, but if she does.
It was going to be a great story anyway. It was a comeback story for the Americans.
Yeah, because, I mean, she's long in the tooth to be able to do this.
But I'm going to, if they show it live, I'll want to be in front of my TV to watch her go down.
You mean go down the hill or go down
the hill, yeah.
Okay.
If she does have success. Are there not going to be people like, why does a guy that has 3 games left in an NFL season, why can't he battle through this?
You know, they think Joe Namath
I mean, you know people will bring this up.
They think Joe Namath played his senior year at Alabama with 2 torn ACLs. Like, they didn't know back then what it was.
Different moment in time, yeah.
But, I mean, can you imagine playing football on the collegiate level, as physical as it was back then, with 2 torn ACLs?
In a running offense.
In a running offense, yeah. And when they could hit you as hard as they wanted to hit you, I mean, your body took a beating already. I cannot imagine downhill skiing this way. Again, I mean, when you're perfectly healthy, it hurts. I don't know that your body is built to downhill ski.
We'll try to figure out when she'll be trying to ski, and if she actually does it in a competition or when she gets over there to do test runs, that it just will not work. But that was her news conference yesterday. This was her swan song anyway, so she wants to give it a shot.
Did you give her age when you were talking about her?
I did not. 41 is my guess.
I would think that she's younger than that.
But she's just been doing it so long.
Yeah, I would say that she's 36.
She dated Tiger.
41. Look at Jim. Yeah, she did date Tiger, and that's been a considerably long time ago.
Wait, you don't think Tiger would date younger?
No, he would. I'm
don't
just
think
saying.
Tiger had a lot of standards.
I'm just saying it's been a while since Tiger was dating Lindsey Vaughn. And, you know, this ages out perfectly. She was, you know, north of the Epstein files and south of 45. 41, I thought was a sweet spot.
Well, I mean, Tiger just turned 50, so.
All right. When we come back, we'll get to trash and a lot more as we roll on today. Super Bowl weekend coming up. Basketball tonight in Tuscaloosa and college football. Always part of the conversation here, being brought to you today in part by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. What do you want for lunch? Well, Tyler would eat some of those hand-cut chicken fingers today down there at Champy's on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Underrated at Champy's is their in-house made honey mustard, which is the best honey mustard I've ever tasted ever. He makes that deliciously perfect at Champy's to go with the hand-cut chicken fingers, the southern fried chicken, the po' boys. Don't forget the po' boys. It is Mardi Gras time. Talked to some people yesterday just back from Mardi Gras. I think of that po' boy. So good. The chicken, the shrimp, they got it all right there. Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Go by and see Sterling and the crew. It is the folks at champyschicken.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
We interrupt this program for breaking news from the Gators of the litigation situation. Insurance companies have a playbook. I repeat, insurance companies have a playbook. Deny, delay, defend. They know which law firms will fold and settle cheap. They are not on your side. That's corporate greed at work. At Alexander Sonara Trial Attorneys, we fight back. We have the resources, the muscle, and the will to take them on. And you don't pay a dime unless we win. They fight dirty. We fight hard. Call 659-777-7777 or hit up alexwins.law.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Big game right around the corner, and you're looking to entertain, and you've got to have the great food. You can do it from our friends at the New York Butcher Shop. A couple of great options. The smoked chicken wings, $11.99 a pound, available Saturdays afternoon. Quantities are limited, so reservations by Thursday suggested. Also, the Super Bowl Boston Butt Sale, $39.99, reservations only, completely smoked from Jim and that great staff of butchers at the New York Butcher Shop. Two great locations for you, the original Caba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service, the New York Butcher Shop. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
It's bow time. The Bojangles Chicken Rice Ball is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time. It's bow time.
The Bojangles Chicken Rice Ball is back. Get dirty rice, slow-cooked Cajun pintos, cheese, and your choice of chicken for just $7.49. But order now. It's only here for a limited time.
It's bow time.
Back with you on the next round. Trash coming up in a second. Basketball tonight, where yesterday Nate Oates put LeBaron Philon on alert about his defense and his leadership. Philon's got to be a leader, both ends of the floor, that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting to watch what happens tonight. Brown has told you already the Charles Bediako case, the Bediako side trying to get it moved from Friday to a week from Friday. There are a lot of people talking about college eligibility, both in basketball and in football. New Florida coach John Sumrall today was asked about college eligibility and the moving needle on who is eligible and who is not eligible. Here is friend of the show, new Gator coach John Sumrall.
Do you think maybe it's a matter of time before that happens in football, where somebody who went pro comes back, and do you have to open yourself up to the possibility of that might happen and maybe create a space for that?
I wasn't planning on sharing this today, but we're going to file a temporary restraining order and see if Tim Tebow can play short yardage and goal line, all right, quarterback. So I don't know what the hell is going on with all that. Like, I don't understand it. I'm not smart to figure it out. I'm not going to make any statements that's going to be bulletin board other than Tebow probably here, because I'm not smart enough to understand all this legal stuff. To me, you're either in college or you're pro. Which one are you? You know, I don't know. But I don't understand all of it. Like, we've gotten to where it's like, hey, you can appeal for a JUCO year, a COVID year, a 6th year, a 9th year. How many years? I mean, the model has been 5 years to play 4. The conversation around some people with 5 for 5, I don't think is going very far because of litigation is what it sounds like to me. I don't know all that stuff. I don't understand all of it. We're going to coach who they let us coach and recruit who they let us recruit. But the problem is I think that's such a moving target that you don't know who's allowed to play. I mean, and the rule may change tonight or tomorrow or whatever. And so I don't know. But, yeah, we'll see if Tebow gets his years I want back.
Yeah.
I mean, football has been so different from basketball
really
forever.
has.
I mean, this is just not even a question, really.
So far.
Well, I mean, they've never allowed professionals to play in college football, and they chose to do it in college basketball. I understand, before you start commenting, why they did it. I know the thought process behind it, that high school kids in Europe don't have college teams to play for, so they play for these semi-pro or pro teams. I get all of that, but
and there just aren't those kind of leagues abroad.
That's right, yeah. And in football, they've never done that, Lance. Nobody has ever gone to the UFL and been like, crap, this is not working out. I've got eligibility left. Let me go back to the college game.
But there is nothing.
The minute it's tried.
Yeah, there's nothing in the courts. The courts have showed us right now that there's nothing that would prevent somebody from the Stallions this year.
Well, let me ask you.
Who never played in the NFL from coming back and trying to play.
Well, let me ask you.
As long as his clock has not expired. I mean, that's the key in
Yeah,
this.
well, so that's a bad example. I was going to say Stetson Bennett's never taken a regular season snap.
Yeah, his clock more than expired.
But what would the market be for Stetson Bennett, who has still been playing in this McVay system 2 years after winning back-to-back national championships? You got to assume he would be a better – I mean, his IQ was extremely high at that point, but imagine where it would be right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be a $5 to $7 million a year guy, and he would come back.
Like the example, who was the great Auburn receiver that left early and didn't get drafted? I can't remember.
Duke Williams?
Duke Williams is immediately who I thought of.
Was it Duke Williams?
I think it was.
It seems like it was there an Adams back in the day?
Darvin Adams.
Yeah, Darvin Adams. And he went undrafted, right?
I thought Darvin Adams got drafted. I thought
think he
Duke
played for
did
the
not.
Panthers. I thought Darvin Adams played for the Panthers.
Yeah. But was he drafted? I'm just saying there's some people you can go back that your team's like, I can't believe that guy left a year early. Vinny Sunseri, all right? Didn't Vinny leave early?
He did.
I think so.
With a year left. And, I when he left, I was like, now he ended up, I think, making an NFL roster and trying to play. But I thought to myself, if Vinny Sunseri had left and didn't get drafted, he would be an example of somebody who could come back to school.
I mean, by the way, undrafted free agent Darvin Adams to the Panthers. So
that's
we had
what I remember.
Yeah. So
he left early, went undrafted.
Yeah.
And
we've talked about that for years now. Years we have discussed before anybody named Bediako or any European college player played. there has been discussion about, is there a way you could let these early departures go through the draft, and if they didn't like where they got drafted, come back for a year and the NFL team still own their rights? I don't think the NFL would like that. So that would probably be your stumbling block there. But there has been that discussion for years.
Yeah, I think that would be the biggest problem. I don't think the NFL would embrace it at all.
Yeah, they would hate that because now I'm wasting a draft pick. Now I'm still going to get the guy eventually, but now he's down there playing where he could get hurt, blow up his knee. A million different things could happen, and he's out of my control.
Yeah.
So the NFL would hate that, obviously.
Trash Time today brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Yeah, make the phone call I made 2003, 205-969-8100. I wore the contacts for more than a decade. I was wasting money each and every year. Speaking from experience there, make the call that I made. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, conveniently located UAB Highlands, 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
We're watching some footy game in America. The Rams and the San Francisco 69ers play some rubbish game.
49ers.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our buddy Mark sent that in.
Still a Rams fan in that game, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tongle, creator-driven studio and platform, is developing a feature film based on the Tecmo classic 80s football video game Tecmo Bowl.
I enjoyed Tecmo Bowl.
I love Tecmo Bowl.
I used to like Tecmo Bowl, yeah.
Once, and I still played it a little bit even after Madden debuted, but, Sega just took it to another level, but Tecmo on Nintendo was a lot of fun. Who did you play with?
Bo Jackson was unstoppable on that game. He was the Raiders.
I liked playing the Giants just because of LT.
Yeah.
And then randomly, I would play the Colts with Harbaugh at quarterback.
Yeah, all you had to do was kind of zigzag with Bo, and nobody'd ever stop you.
Yeah, but Bo's impossible to tackle. Since you brought those two names up, well, we just gave it away. There's one NFL head coach that has more career rushing yards than Bo Jackson, and it's Jim Harbaugh. Did you know that?
I did not.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
People forget how mobile of a quarterback Jim Harbaugh was.
Harbaugh was a Hail Mary away from, leading a team to a Super Bowl against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little over 1,800 rushing yards, I think, for Harbaugh.
Is it that low? I thought it was over 2,000.
Now,
1,800.
This studio, which has developed content for Netflix, the Lego Group, and more, says it will collaborate with its community of over 160,000 creatives to reimagine, quote, the beloved classic as a movie, and will combine live action with animated gameplay sequences inspired by the original Tecmo Bowl.
I don't know how they're going to do a movie. There was another one called Joe Montana's Football, and you could run 4 plays. And oddly enough, being Joe Montana was very beneficial in that game.
Oh, I bet.
Most teams had 2 run plays and 2 pass plays. Joe Montana's 49ers had 3 pass plays and 1 run play.
Okay, here's trying to break this down, okay? Per Tongle, the Tecmo Bowl movie will be, quote, developed with Tongle's creator community, who will execute original ideas to reimagine the legendary football game. By blending the game's distinct original animation sequences with live production, film will capture Tecmo Bowl's nostalgic charm with a fresh, modern approach fueled by creators around the world.
A few people will remember this, maybe nobody. When I would go to skating rinks, the one on Lorna Road and the one in Pelham, there was a game that you'd put your quarters in that was sort of a flat surface, and the person you were playing were on that side, you were on this side, and it was a roller ball.
Oh, yeah.
And you would pick the play, and then you would have to either pass it or roll the runner through the hole, and you'd roll it to try to make the tackle.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
You guys had Aladdin's Castle over here. In Calhoun County, we had a place called Magic Mountain that was for a minute, was a video arcade, and I remember that game being in there. I could be wrong.
I loved that game, except you would get going... Much like Golden Tee, you get going so fast, and you could pinch your...
your hand would get caught.
You could pinch your hand, or you could be going so fast that all of a sudden, after wear and tear, the ball, you would lose control of your player because you were going too fast on the ball. Now the player is not going the right direction or something.
I tell you what I enjoyed was it Monday Night Quarterback, where you go to a bar?
Oh, yeah.
And then you would play against the rest of the country and all these other bars, and you would call plays for your team.
I can tell you the years of that. That's 1990, 91, and 92. Yeah. Is when that was
Now,
huge.
the problem was we would have the over in Kansas State, Iowa State, and we're throwing nonstop in their run-based teams. I hope we've got video or still shots of this. Following a bout of abnormally cold temperatures in Florida, one resident creatively kept warm by using the state's invasive green iguana population, making a, quote, blanket out of the lizards. Now, the iguanas featured in the makeshift blanket are cold-stunned lizards. As a cold-blooded reptile, an iguana depends on its environment to regulate its body temperature. When temperatures drop below 40 degrees, the iguana's body shuts down, causing it to fall from trees and remain paralyzed until it's warmed up.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. On my social media feed last night, they are called the chicken of the trees down there, and people actually would make iguana tacos and stuff when it gets cold like this because they're falling out of the trees. And
don't spoil tomorrow's trash.
Oh, you've already found it?
Yeah, I've got the TikTok iguana taco story.
Okay, now here is the viral video of the iguana blanket by influencer at Stacks with a Z. Shows a man lying in this sunny parking lot, resting with his eyes closed under a pile of iguanas. Now, the iguana-covered man then claims, quote, trying to sleep, says it felt like 30 degrees outside, but estimates personal temperature more than 100 degrees because of the pile of insulating iguanas. Told you guys I had iguana, the worst pet mistake probably ever made back in the day, getting an iguana. They're actually a little feisty and aggressive. Yeah, they slap that tail.
I am in the middle of listening to a podcast.
Right now during the show?
I'm actually producing one right now. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm in the middle of it. It's like a 2.5 hour podcast. It's this guy that he's an American and he's a conservationist, and his passion is the Amazon rainforest.
Sounds really interesting so far.
Oh, just wait. He's part of a team. He had lived in the Amazon rainforest. He claims he has lived outside more than inside over the last 20 years.
Okay, so how did you stumble across this podcast?
I saw a portion of it on TikTok, and I went and found the actual podcast. It's The Daily CEO, I think is the name of the podcast. Anyway, so this guy is being interviewed, and his passion is the Amazon rainforest. What's interesting about it is he befriended some of the natives there in the rainforest in the Amazon and became friends with them. And they had always claimed that there was an uncontacted tribe of individuals. There was an uncontacted society on the river basin in the Amazon. And they finally made contact with them. And it's fascinating, the stories he tells, assuming they're true. I don't know if they're true or not. Anyway, the whole point I was getting to, the Amazon is the size of the lower 48, which I did not realize that. The Amazon rainforest is the size of the lower 48 United States. And he said the trees, the canopy is 100 to 160 feet above your head. Yep. That's how tall it is. And he said half of the species of animals live in that canopy. Think about that for a second. So you're walking around in the rainforest, assuming you survive, and half of the animals are above your head that live in that rainforest.
I watched the
Isn't that wild?
remake of Anaconda with Jack the other night, starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd, and just watching them walk around, and I'm sure a lot of it was CGI, but I'm like, I cannot believe people actually get into the Amazon River or the rainforest.
Well, this guy, I mean,
that's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator there, right? That's a croc.
That's a croc, yeah. Much more aggressive.
He said they were navigating the Amazon River one night, and the storms got so bad, they had flashlights out. And the way they were navigating the river is they were shining the flashlights along the bank because the caimans, the crocodiles, would just sit on the bank and it would hit their eyes, and they could tell where the banks were. That's how many crocodiles were on the banks. It's the only way they could navigate the river in that storm. It had gotten so dark and the visibility was so low, with shining lights to hit the crocodile's eyes. Because those crocodiles are just waiting for the boat to turn over. And then it's dinner time.
Yeah, I'm sure. Did you see the new Anaconda?
I did.
I mean, it's not Cocaine Bear, but there were some laughs in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was exactly what I expected. It was just stupid fun for an hour and a half.
And Jack Black looks just like somebody we know. But I'll say it off air. A woman in Shanghai, China caught the attention of police after repeatedly moving a traffic mirror to protect her home's feng shui, causing several car accidents as a result. Now, feng shui.
That's feng shui, isn't it?
Feng shui, maybe, which literally translates to wind and water. Is that right?
Yeah. Feng shui is correct. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's feng shui.
Okay. I did not take Japanese at Jacksonville State.
Well, this is Chinese, but
I didn't take Chinese either. I ate a lot of it.
No.
It is the aura of your space, right?
It's the cultural practice of arranging furniture and other objects to protect the flow of energy. Now, one woman in Shanghai became particularly concerned with this practice after experiencing a bout of bad luck with, feng shui?
Feng shui.
Feng shui. Master attributed.
Feng Shui is the new middle reliever that the Dodgers picked up.
Yeah, if he's really good. They attributed to a, quote, demon-revealing traffic mirror that was facing their home. Now, you see these there's one on Cherokee Road in Mountain Brook.
Yeah.
You don't
real
see
sharp
them a
turn.
lot.
Yeah, real sharp turn. They have to have them.
Now, they're
I never can tell if anything's coming.
Apparently important here. They believe they must not be placed facing a bed or a front door, least they reflect negative energy, resulting in nightmares, poor sleep, and paranoia. Now, the woman determined to change her luck, adjusted the mirror so it wasn't facing her home, but this resulted in bad luck for local drivers who relied on the mirror to see the traffic around them.
Nothing but wrecks
and
now.
make informed decisions on the road. Now, eventually, the company that owned the properties in the area got involved, installing another traffic mirror on the other side of the street, but this too allegedly caused another bout of bad luck for her family. Woman moved that mirror as well. Frustrated by the constant movement of the traffic mirrors, neighborhood community got together for a meeting, invited local police to speak with the woman and her husband about the situation. The property company later encased both mirrors in cement to prevent them from being adjusted again.
Nick says feng shui is LT's Rishiki. We have our Rikishi. Which one was it, Rikishi?
The guy's actual name is Rikishi.
Rikishi,
I
yeah.
promise you, I will not be reading this again.
No, this is the last time you'll say feng shui. I had to say Rikishi for a month. And I got it right maybe 30% of the time. Maybe.
That's generous.
Yeah, okay.
So finally, a Nigerian man has gone viral after he chose to spend a year in prison after spending part of a $1.5 billion that was accidentally sent to him. I think we've learned by now, if you get money accidentally deposited into your account,
they're going to find it.
They are.
Yep.
Now, if you've ever had money accidentally dropped into an account, be it a bank, savings, even PayPal, can cause a fair amount of stress. Better off returning than holding on to it. Now, however, over in Nigeria, this is Ojo Kingsley. Decided to spend the money after it dropped into his account. Kingsley, however, didn't just receive a small chunk of change. According to the Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, received $1.5 billion, which is around 1.1 million American dollars. Now, as per the police report, money has been split into different accounts, some in the name of Kingsley himself, others belonging to his mother and sister. After entering a guilty plea, he was offered a 1-year prison sentence or a fine of around 35,000 American dollars. What would you take? 1 year in prison or pay 35,000?
$35K.
Yeah.
I mean, if I've got access to $35K, I'm guessing he probably didn't.
He chose to spend a year in prison over the erroneously accredited money.
If I've got access to the money, $35K is way low versus a year in prison. Like, you're at the bottom of my negotiation at $35K versus a year in prison.
Now, the bank almost recovered the full amount, save a few thousand that he spent, but now he's going to do a year in prison.
I couldn't watch the trailer of the new Oscar-winning HBO documentary about the Alabama prison system. I couldn't make it through the trailer.
Very one-sided, by the way.
From the prisoner's side, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's well done, but I mean, I think it is a little, according to some people I've talked to, a little slighted. It's well done, though.
Yeah. Just saying, one night in prison is
negative
is enough.
I wouldn't want to do one night, so I would take out loans, I would sell everything to not go to prison.
$35,000. I mean, I think most people.
The Alabama Solution, I think is what it's called.
I could not even do the title.
So you didn't watch it?
I did not make it through the trailer.
So Oz wouldn't have been a show for you.
No, never watched it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I ain't going to prison.
It's frightening stuff.
If the purpose, which I always thought it was rehabilitation and to scare you not to go to prison, it worked for me. I didn't have to be rehab, but I am scared to go to prison. I do not want to go.
That is Trash Today, brought to you in part by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Leslie and her board-certified team can help you maintain your weight. If you've lost the weight and want to keep it off, there are ways to do that. I do it with protein bars to limit bad snacking. And let me tell you, since Thursday till yesterday on the golf course, I thought, when I got on the scale this morning, I thought it was going to be 190 pounds.
And?
179, back down into my sweet spot. It just works, man. It just works, and there are different ways you can lose weight. For me, it's just cutting out bad snacking and eating reasonable meals at lunch and dinner. Some people want injection therapy if you want to lose weight a little faster. There are meal replacements in a variety of different ways. It's all right there, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and that first consultation with Leslie is absolutely free. Final thought tonight. Tonight you got Alabama, Texas A&M. More SEC games. We'll react to that tomorrow. Final thought today on the show. There was a time when Nick Saban was coaching that we thought he could leave Alabama and coach any sport and be successful at.
Mm-hmm.
He is in the process of helping the Nashville Predators hire their new general manager. He is a minority owner, and he is on the committee that is doing the research to hire the new general manager of an NHL hockey team. I fully believe he could take that job and do it well.
Well, I mean, I would say if he's part owner of my team, why would you not use him? I think winners and driven people recognize winners and driven people.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know how well he would evaluate Nick Saban himself, hockey players, but I'm not doubting anything that guy does.
Yep.
6 o'clock on Fox tonight. The delayed clash is going to be at the Bowman Gray Stadium, old school short track racing in North Carolina. It was supposed to happen over the weekend. Obviously, the snow pushed it to tonight, 6 o'clock. Main Fox for that tonight if you want to see a little NASCAR old school short track racing. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Don't forget, Brooks has everything at Next Round Live on your social media platform. Forrester is sending out unbelievable stuff for you all the time on not only our YouTube channel, but also at Next Round Live on all of our social platforms. And Tyler has a variety of stuff, including TNR clips for you, the new YouTube channel, to go like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up and a follow. It's all over the platform for us right there at Next Round Live everywhere. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.